टीम ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में ये बिलीव करके आती है कि वो चैंपियन बन सकती है, लेकिन टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग जो उस वक्त अपने ओरिजिनल बैनर टीम हिंद के नाम से खेल रही थी, उनकी कहानी थोड़ी अलग थी। तेज FFMIC 2026 स्प्रिंग के ग्रैंड फाइनल्स के स्टेज पर कदम रखने से काफी पहले, पहला मैच शुरू होने से पहले, पहला पॉइंट मिलने से पहले उन्होंने अपना एंडिंग इमेजिन कर लिया था। उनके लिए ट्रॉफी पहले ही उनकी थी। ये ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं था, ये बिलीव था। सालों तक साथ खेलने का बिलीव, हर सेटबैक से वापस उठने का बिलीव और नॉकआउट स्टेज क्रॉस करके इंडिया की बेस्ट टीम के सामने खड़े होने का बिलीव। अब सिर्फ एक सवाल बाकी था, क्या वो बिलीव रियलिटी बन सकता था?
जो अपना FFMIC 2026 था अपना स्प्रिंग, उसमें हमने मेनली फोकस किया था अपनी 4v4 फाइट्स में। हमने जितना ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग कर सकते थे हमने उसको स्ट्रॉन्ग किया, अपने कोऑर्डिनेशन पे काम किया। तो फिर ऐसा हो गया था कि फिर एक टाइम पे हम कोई भी टीम को 4v4 इजिली मार दे रहे थे। उसी से फिर हमको कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया था कि 4v4 फाइट अपनी बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग है, बस जोन्स और बाकी सब चीज पे अपने को ध्यान देना है, बाकी फाइट्स तो हम निकाल ही लेंगे।
लेकिन चैंपियनशिप डिसाइड होने से पहले एक और हर्डल बाकी था, पॉइंट रश। 6 मैचेस, एक दिन, और वही डिसाइड करता था कि चैंपियनशिप डे पर हर टीम कितने हेड स्टार्ट पॉइंट्स के साथ शुरुआत करेगी। यहाँ ट्रॉफी नहीं मिलनी थी, सिर्फ मोमेंटम, और टीम हिंद ने इसी चीज को टारगेट बनाया। उन्होंने लॉबी डोमिनेट करने की कोशिश नहीं की, हर गेम में अननेसेसरी फाइट्स नहीं ली, जहां अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली वहां कैपिटलाइज किया। और जब मैच 5 आया, टीम हिंद ने पूरे पॉइंट रश का अपना बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस दिया। एक और ग्रेनेड यहाँ पर से को करा जाएगा,
बिल्कुल अकेले, नीचे 3 खिलाड़ी अकेले डैश करेंगे, एंड देयर कम्स द टीम हिंद विद द बोया बोया बोया।
19 एलिमिनेशन के साथ बूया, एक स्टेटमेंट गेम। दिन के एंड तक टीम हिंद ओवरऑल 3rd प्लेस पर फिनिश हुई। रिवॉर्ड मिला 5 हेड स्टार्ट पॉइंट्स।
ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में तो हमारा स्टार्टिंग में टारगेट यही था कि हमको 3 से 4 गेम में चैंपियन रश ऑन करना है, बट ऐसा हुआ कि हमारे गेम्स बहुत ज्यादा एवरेज चले गए कुछ रीजंस की वजह से।
चैंपियन रश डे की शुरुआत हुई और शुरुआती 4 मैचेस में एक बात क्लियर हो गई, ये टूर्नामेंट किसी एक टीम का नहीं होने वाला था। हर गेम का हीरो अलग था। मैच 1 में फायर आइज गेमिंग ने पेस सेट किया। मैच 2 में गॉडलाइक ईस्पोर्ट्स ने लॉबी कंट्रोल कर ली। उसके बाद RNX ईस्पोर्ट्स ने बैक टू बैक बुयाज लेकर पूरा लीडर बोर्ड हिला दिया। हर मैच के बाद स्टैंडिंग्स बदल रही थी, हर फाइट टाइटल रेस को एक नई डायरेक्शन दे रही थी, और टीम हिंद वो क्वाइटली रेस के अंदर बनी रही। चैंपियन रश फॉर्मेट में कभी कभी सरवाइव करते रहना लीड करने से भी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, क्योंकि जब बाकी टीम्स एक गेम में टॉप करती और अगले गेम में क्रैश हो जाती, वहीं टीम हिंद कभी पिक्चर से बाहर नहीं हुई, वो बस अपने मोमेंट का वेट कर रही थी।
फिर उसके बाद हमको अपना गेम प्लान चेंज करना पड़ा।
फिर हमारा बरमुदा मैप आया जिसमें हमको ज्यादा एलिमिनेशंस की नीड थी, तो हमने उसी के हिसाब से उस गेम को खेला और
5th और 6th गेम में बहुत ज्यादा एग्रेसिव गए, तो उससे अपने को बहुत ज्यादा फायदा हुआ।
4 मैचेस बीत चुके थे। टीम हिंद अब भी अपने ब्रेक थ्रू का इंतजार कर रही थी, और दूसरी तरफ गॉडलाइक ईस्पोर्ट्स धीरे धीरे चैंपियनशिप के सबसे बड़े कंटेंडर्स बन के उभर चुकी थी। हर पासिंग गेम के साथ प्रेशर बढ़ता जा रहा था। अब एक और एवरेज मैच का ऑप्शन ही नहीं था। इसी बीच आई एक रोटेशन केप टाउन से कोटाटुआ की तरफ, और वही हुआ जिसने टीम हिंद के टूर्नामेंट की डायरेक्शन ही बदल दी। सीधा सामने थे डिफेंडिंग चैंपियंस iQOO टोटल गेमिंग। ये सिर्फ एक और स्क्वाड फाइट नहीं थी, iQOO टोटल गेमिंग के लिए ये चैंपियनशिप रेस में बने रहने का मौका था, और टीम हिंद के लिए ये वो फाइट थी जो उनके पूरे टूर्नामेंट को या तो जिंदा रख सकती थी या वहीं खत्म कर सकती थी।
सामने की तरफ से टीम हिंद इसके ऊपर अटैक करती हुई इस समय पर लीड आगे बढ़ते हुए बुलविन पे डाउन करने की कोशिश है। माफिया इज द लास्ट मैन स्टैंडिंग, because iQOO टोटल गेमिंग इज येट टू टच द 80 पॉइंट मार्क। क्या माफिया अपने खिलाड़ियों को गेम के अंदर इस मुकाबले में वापस ला पाएंगे? जी नहीं। 10वें पायदान पे iQOO टोटल गेमिंग का खात्मा होता हुआ,
और उस मोमेंट के बाद पूरा मैप टीम हिंद के लिए खुल गया, और धीरे धीरे लॉबी सिर्फ 3 स्क्वाड्स तक सीमित हो गई। अब टीम हिंद सिर्फ रेस में नहीं थी, अब पूरी लॉबी को पता चल चुका था ये टीम चैंपियनशिप जीत भी सकती है।
हमको तो शुरू से ऐसे गेम की नीड थी चैंपियन बनने के लिए, क्योंकि एवरेज सा ही गेम हमारा जा रहा था शुरू से, या फिर आप फर्स्ट देख लो, सेकंड देख लो, थर्ड देख लो, पूरी टीम मतलब बूस्टअप हो जाए और चैंपियन की तरफ आगे बढ़े।
गुजरात, कैन यू फील द फायर?
मैच 5 ने टीम हिंद के चैंपियनशिप ड्रीम को दोबारा जिंदा कर दिया, लेकिन अगले 2 गेम्स उस ड्रीम को फिर से तोड़ने पर आ गए। मैच 6 8th प्लेस फिनिश।
बट वो सोलारा वाला मैच में हमने थोड़ी सी गलती की, कोऑर्डिनेशन में इशू आया, वो फाइट अपन हार गए।
हाँ, एक चीज जरूर हुई, टीम हिंद ने चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट कर लिया।
तो चैंपियन रश ऑन होने के बाद हमारी स्ट्रेटजी में हमने चेंज लाया था, क्योंकि उससे पहले हमने बहुत सारे टूर्नामेंट्स में भी प्रैक्टिस की थी जब चैंपियन रश ऑन होने के बाद बुया करने की, तो फिर हम उसी स्ट्रेटजी के साथ आगे गए थे।
चैंपियन रश सिर्फ आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव चेंज नहीं करता, पूरी लॉबी का गेम प्लान बदल देता है। अब हर टीम को पता था टीम हिंद को बस एक और बुया चाहिए, सिर्फ एक, और चैंपियनशिप खत्म। प्रेशर सिर्फ टीम हिंद पर नहीं था, प्रेशर उन हर टीम पर था जो उन्हें उस एक बुया से रोकना चाहती थी।
फिर अपने को नेक्स्ट गेम में चांस मिला एंड हम सेम स्ट्रेटजी के साथ गए।
मैच 7 में गॉड लाइक के अगेंस्ट एक रिस्की पुश, और इस बार सब कुछ उल्टा पड़ गया।
हिंद वो होल्ड बैक नहीं करना चाह रहे, स्क्वाड को स्पॉट आउट करा, स्पॉट करते ही अंदर घुसे टीम गॉड लाइक, दे आर इन ट्रबल। यहाँ पर से मार्को को भी गिरा दिया जाएगा, केडी गॉर्डन बुलविन वो भी नॉकआउट होते हुए नजर आने वाले। साहिल जाट एक लौते खिलाड़ी, उनको भी करा बाहर।
टीम हिंद लॉबी की पहली एलिमिनेटेड स्क्वाड बन गई। जो मोमेंटम मैच 5 में बना था वो एक ही गेम में रुक सा गया।
तो मतलब हम 7th मैच में जब एलिमिनेट हुए तो मतलब सब वैसे ही साइड हो गए, फिर डिमोटिवेट टाइप के होने लगे। फिर जैसे ही हमने देखा कि 7th मैच में आरएनटी ने बुया करा, तो फिर मतलब सब एकदम ऐसे खुश हो गए और फिर एक दूसरे में मतलब चेयर अप करने लगे कि मतलब अब तो करना ही है, अब तो चैंपियन बनना ही है।
अब हर मिस हुई बुया सिर्फ पॉइंट्स का नुकसान नहीं थी, वो बाकी टीम्स को एक और चीज दे रही थी, होप। मैच 7 के बाद इक्वेशन बिल्कुल बदल चुकी थी। चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट करने वाली 7 टीम्स में वो सबसे पीछे थे, लीडर बोर्ड के लीडर से 24 पॉइंट्स पीछे। पहली बार चैंपियनशिप इतनी दूर लग रही थी। फाइनल गेम शुरू हुई।
उस मैच में हमारे साथ अनएक्सपेक्टेड चीजें भी हुई थी कि हमने एक स्प्लिट लिया था कमांड और स्टोन रिच पर, और हमारे पे पूरी टीम आ गई थी एक स्प्लिट पर। तो साहिल उधर स्टोन रिच पे मर गया और हमारा छोटो और मैं कमांड पे थे। तो वो फाइट इतनी जरूरी थी निकालनी, क्योंकि अगर वो फाइट हार जाते तो हमारी पूरी टीम एलिमिनेट हो जाती।
पड़ेगा डिलीट एंड चेक नॉक हो चुके हैं। इस दौरान 2 खिलाड़ी सर्वाइव करेंगे और माफिया से लॉन्च पैड से निकल जाएंगे। कैश टेक में सफलता मिलेगी, माफिया पे शॉट्स लिए गए और काफी जगह चोट लेकर रखा है।
अब सिर्फ एक ऑब्जेक्टिव था, फाइनल सर्कल तक पहुंचना। 4 टीम्स, चारों चैंपियन रश पर, एक ट्रॉफी, एक फाइनल सर्कल। जो ये गेम जीतेगा वही चैंपियन बनेगा। जोन और कोलैप्स हुई, अब कवर खत्म हो रहा था और इसी मोमेंट पर टीम हिंद ने सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजन लिया। बाकी टीम्स हेजिटेट कर रही थी, टीम हिंद पहले मूव कर गई। रिस्क था, लेकिन उस रिस्क ने उन्हें सबसे वैल्यूएबल चीज दी, पोजीशन। अब बाकी टीम्स स्पेस के लिए लड़ रही थी और टीम हिंद के पास ऑलरेडी वो स्पेस थी। जोन के दूसरे साइड फायरस गेमिंग और iQOO टोटल गेमिंग एक डेस्परेट फाइट में उलझ चुके थे। दोनों जानती थी ये फाइट हारते ही टूर्नामेंट खत्म। दूसरी तरफ RNX ने टीम हिंद पर प्रेशर बनाने की कोशिश की, लेकिन बेटर पोजीशनिंग का एडवांटेज टीम हिंद के पास था। पुश डाउन किया और RNX एलिमिनेट, और अब सिर्फ 2 टीम्स बच गई थी, फायरस गेमिंग और टीम हिंद।
थोड़ा सा डैमेज होते हुए नजर आएंगे, बढ़ेंगे आगे की ओर। स्काइलर का प्रयोग, ट्रोल को यहाँ पर से डैमेज अकेला गिरा, शॉटो करेंगे, ट्रोल के ऊपर अटैक है, ट्रोल को करा जाएगा नॉकआउट। ब्रिज एक लौते खिलाड़ी, उनको भी करा बाहर। नेज फ्री फॉर मैक्स इंडिया कप 2026 स्प्रिंग के विनर्स हमारे सामने, दे आर नन अदर देन टीम हिंद।
चैंपियनशिप्स सिर्फ फाइनल बुया से याद नहीं रखी जाती, ना सिर्फ ट्रॉफी लिफ्ट से, ना सेलिब्रेशन से और ना ही कॉन्फेटी से। उनकी फाउंडेशन उससे बहुत पहले पड़ती है। मेटा को समझने में, स्क्रिम्स के एंडलेस आवर्स में, हर हार के बाद हुई अनकंफर्टेबल डिस्कशंस में, और उस बिलीफ में जो कभी टूटने नहीं दिया गया। टीम हिंद ने TEZ FFMIC 2026 स्प्रिंग इसीलिए नहीं जीता क्योंकि वो परफेक्ट थी, उन्होंने इसलिए जीता क्योंकि जब जब टूर्नामेंट ने उन्हें टेस्ट किया, हर बार उनके पास एक जवाब था। और अब एक नया चैप्टर शुरू हो रहा है। इस बार टीम हिंद के नाम से नहीं, टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग के नाम से। अब बाकी टीम्स ट्रॉफी के पीछे नहीं भागेंगे, वो भागेंगे डिफेंडिंग चैंपियंस के पीछे, क्योंकि फॉल सीजन में हर टीम का टारगेट एक होगा, टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग।
इस टाइटल को हमारे को डिफेंड करना एक बहुत बड़ी चीज है, क्योंकि हमारी अब रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी और ज्यादा बढ़ गई है। जैसे कि हम और भी जानकारी और फैंस भी हमारे बहुत सारे नए जुड़े हैं हमारे साथ, तो हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि उनको निराश ना करना। एंड इस बार कंपटीशन भी बहुत ज़्यादा रहने वाला है, क्योंकि जो लास्ट टाइम टीम्स थी वो भी हैं और काफ़ी सारी नई टीम्स भी आई हैं, तो डेफिनेटली कंपटीशन बढ़ा है एंड उसलिए हमको भी उसके लिए और ज़्यादा मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी।
हमको इंटरनेशनल एक्सपोजर चाहिए था, तो हमने वो अचीव करा है। AWC 2026 के स्लॉट को अर्न करा है और मतलब अपने आप को मतलब प्रूव करेंगे AWC में, ताकि अपने फैंस को निराश ना करें।
हर चैंपियनशिप में एक ऐसा प्लेयर होता है जो सिर्फ स्कोर बोर्ड पर नहीं, पूरे टूर्नामेंट की कहानी पर अपना नाम लिख देता है। तेज FFMIC 2026 स्प्रिंग के लिए वो प्लेयर था हिंद बुलविन। 22 एलिमिनेशन, 8300 प्लस डैमेज और ग्रैंड फाइनल्स का मोस्ट वैल्यूएबल प्लेयर।
जब मुझे MVP का टाइटल मिला तो मैं बहुत खुश था, क्योंकि मैंने इसी के लिए बहुत प्रैक्टिस करी थी। मेरे घर वाले भी बहुत खुश थे, क्योंकि वो देख रहे थे और उन्होंने देखा कि मुझे MVP मिला और चैंपियन हम बने। आपकी नज़रों में मैं MVP हूँ, बट मेरी नज़रों में मेरी पूरी टीम है, मतलब टीम वर्क ही मेरे लिए सबसे ज़्यादा है।
एक सफर यही खत्म होता है और एक नया सफर शुरू। अब बारी है टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग के बैनर के नीचे अपने टाइटल को डिफेंड करने की। तेज FFMIC 2026 फॉल के दौरान हम लेकर आएंगे और भी बिहाइंड द सीन्स स्टोरीज, एक्सक्लूसिव प्लेयर इंटरव्यूज और टूर्नामेंट की हर बड़ी कहानी सबसे करीब से।
एंड होप सो इस बार भी हम वो टाइटल को जीतें।
तेज फ्री फायर मैक्स इंडिया कप आ गया है वापस, और इस बार पहले से भी ज्यादा बड़ा। फॉर्ज योर लेगेसी के लिए तैयार हो जाइए, क्योंकि इस फॉल हम लेकर आ रहे हैं ज्यादा सिटीज, ज्यादा टीम्स और चैंपियंस बनने के और भी ज्यादा मौके। जर्नी की शुरुआत होगी 4 हफ्तों के सिटी क्वालिफायर से। हर हफ्ते 3 सिटीज फीचर होंगी, यानी पूरे भारत में कुल 12 सिटीज। हर सिटी में पहली 144 टीम्स कंपटीशन में उतरेंगी, एक ही गोल के साथ अपनी सिटी का चैंपियन बनना। पार्टिसिपेशन क्राइटेरिया पिछले सीजन जैसा ही रहेगा। अगर कोई टीम अपने पहले अटेम्प्ट में क्वालिफाई नहीं कर पाती, तो वो किसी दूसरे हफ्ते के क्वालिफायर्स में फिर से हिस्सा ले सकती है। सिटी क्वालिफायर्स फेज के आखिर में हर सिटी से एक चैंपियन टीम अगले स्टेज में जाएगी, यानी कुल 12 टीम्स। तेज FFMIC 2026 फॉल के लिए क्वालिफाई करने का सिर्फ यही तरीका नहीं है। इन गेम FFC मोड 5 जुलाई को वापस आएगा। जो भी टीम्स क्राइटेरिया पूरा करेंगी, वो इन गेम FFC क्वालिफायर्स में हिस्सा ले सकेंगी। इस बार कुल 66 टीम्स FFC क्वालिफायर्स से क्वालिफाई करेंगी और सिटी क्वालिफायर विनर्स के साथ अगले स्टेज में जाएंगी। जी हाँ, इस सीजन FFC क्वालिफायर्स के लिए 28 एक्स्ट्रा स्लॉट्स जोड़े गए हैं। 12 सिटी क्वालिफायर विनर्स और FFC क्वालिफायर्स से आई 66 टीम्स अब नए प्लेन स्टेज में जाएंगी। इन 78 टीम्स के साथ तेज FFMIC 2026 स्प्रिंग में 7th to 12th प्लेस पर रहने वाली टीम्स भी जुड़ेंगी, जिससे कुल 84 टीम्स बनेंगी। प्लेन स्टेज एक हफ्ते तक चलेगा और 20 से 26 जुलाई तक फ्री फायर मैक्स Esports इंडिया के ऑफिशियल YouTube चैनल पर लाइव ब्रॉडकास्ट होगा। 84 टीम्स को 12-12 टीम्स वाले 7 ग्रुप्स में बांटा जाएगा। प्लेन्स के अंत में हर ग्रुप की सिर्फ टॉप 6 टीम्स आगे बढ़ेंगी, यानी कुल 42 टीम्स ग्रुप स्टेज में जाएंगी। तेज FFMIC 2026 स्प्रिंग फाइनल्स की टॉप 6 टीम्स सीधे ग्रुप स्टेज में एंटर करेंगी, जिससे कुल 48 टीम्स बनेंगी। ये स्टेज पिछले सीजन जैसा ही रहेगा, जहां हर रिजल्ट फाइनल राउंड्स की रेस को शेप देगा। सिर्फ सबसे मजबूत और कंसिस्टेंट टीम्स ही सर्वाइव कर पाएंगी और चैंपियनशिप होप्स जिंदा रखेंगी। 48 टीम्स को वीक 1 के लिए 12-12 टीम्स वाले 4 ग्रुप्स में बांटा जाएगा। 6 से 9 अगस्त तक हर ग्रुप कुल 6 गेम्स खेलेगा और हर ग्रुप की टॉप 9 टीम्स ग्रुप स्टेज वीक 2 में जाएंगी, जो 14 से 16 अगस्त तक चलेगा। वीक 2 में पहुंची 36 टीम्स को शफल करके 3 ग्रुप्स में बांटा जाएगा। अब स्टेक्स और भी ऊंचे होंगे, क्योंकि हर ग्रुप की सिर्फ टॉप 6 टीम्स अगले स्टेज नॉकआउट स्टेज में जाएंगी। अब गलतियों की गुंजाइश बहुत कम होगी, वापसी के मौके कम होंगे और हर मैच के असली कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस होंगे। 18 एलीट टीम्स नॉकआउट स्टेज वीक 1 में राउंड रॉबिन फॉर्मेट में भिड़ेंगी 28 से 30 अगस्त तक। वीक 1 की टॉप 12 टीम्स वीक 2 डे 1 4 सितंबर को खेलेंगी। डे 1 के आखिर में टॉप 2 टीम्स सीधे ग्रैंड फाइनल्स के लिए क्वालिफाई करेंगी। बाकी 10 टीम्स 5 सितंबर को डे 2 खेलेंगी और उनके साथ वीक 1 की #13 और #14 टीम्स जुड़ेंगी। 6 इंटेंस गेम्स के बाद डे 2 की टॉप 2 टीम्स भी सीधे ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में जाएंगी। बाकी 10 टीम्स फिर से 6 सितंबर को डे 3 पर खेलेंगी और उनके साथ वीक 1 की #15 और #16 टीम्स जुड़ेंगी। एक बार फिर डे 3 की टॉप 2 टीम्स ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में क्वालिफाई करेंगी। लेकिन बाकी टीम्स की जर्नी अभी खत्म नहीं होगी। नॉकआउट स्टेज वीक 3 ग्रैंड फाइनल्स क्वालिफाई करने का आखिरी मौका होगा। वीक 2 डे 3 की बची हुई 10 टीम्स के साथ वीक 1 की #17 और #18 टीम्स जुड़ेंगी। 11 सितंबर से 12 टीम्स 3 दिनों तक फाइट करेंगी और सिर्फ टॉप 6 टीम्स ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में जाएंगी, उन 6 टीम्स के साथ जो पहले ही क्वालिफाई कर चुकी हैं। ग्रैंड फाइनल्स 2 दिनों तक होंगे। डेट्स और वेन्यू बाद में अनाउंस किए जाएंगे। ग्रैंड फाइनल्स डे 1 पॉइंट रश फॉर्मेट में खेला जाएगा। टीम्स को पॉइंट्स बिल्ड करने होंगे, प्रेशर में सरवाइव करना होगा और सही समय पर परफॉर्म करना होगा। 12 टीम्स कुल 6 गेम्स खेलेंगी और टॉप 6 टीम्स डे 2 ग्रैंड फाइनल्स के लिए हेड स्टार्ट पॉइंट्स अर्न करेंगी। जो टीम पहले 90 पॉइंट्स तक पहुंचेगी उसके लिए चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट हो जाएगा और चैंपियन रश एक्टिवेट होने के बाद जो टीम सबसे पहले बूया करेगी वही तेज FFMIC 2026 फॉल की चैंपियन बनेगी और ट्रॉफी उठाएगी। ज्यादा सिटीज, ज्यादा क्वालिफिकेशन चांसेस और ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटीज के साथ कोई भी चैलेंज स्वीकार कर सकता है, लेकिन आखिर में सिर्फ एक टीम अपनी लेगेसी फॉर्ज करेगी और तेज फ्री फायर मैक्स इंडिया कप 2026 फॉल की चैंपियन कहलाएगी।
This is day 4, ladies and gentlemen, and the action just gets intensified. You guys are watching TEZ Free Fire Max India Cup Fall 2026. With me on the desk is going to be Ozora Aiden, as we're going to be entering with a lot of new city qualifiers teams as well as one OG team. OG team? Yes, they're called orangutans. And Ozora, how are you feeling today? As we are having a lot of expectations than what we used to have in the previous days.
Indeed, man. You know, the expectation day by day is just increasing. Yesterday, we could see one of the teams who broke yet another record. The record of getting most amount of booyahs in a single day, which is 3. Now, I do not know whether the record of 45 is going to break or the record of 3 is going to break, but in any which case, it is iQOO OGxTSG, one of the most famous teams in the Indian circuit, and we all know the kind of fan following they have, but last time they could not do much. They were at the 10th spot, so that's going to be a bit problematic, and I know for a fact there's a lot of hopes dwindling on them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when I spoke about OGs, I did not just refer to the orangutans, but also some old players who are making a comeback in their respective teams as well. We're going to be breaking down more of all these things as we head forward. But guys, don't be selfish. I know you guys are watching alone. Make sure you share it among your friends and let them all come here to witness the action, as we're going to be looking at the format and the timeline of the current tournament which is going on. So the plains is where we stand right now from the 28th to 26th of July, where 78 qualified teams, 6 invited, and there are some more who have joined in over here. Total of 84 teams divided into 7 groups and 12 teams each in each group.
Well, that's just the start, right? The entire circuit is pretty brutal. There's even a knockout stage where you're going to see the round-robin format coming into the picture. 18 teams just fighting relentlessly just to prove that they can head all the way towards the grand finals, which the dates are to be decided. I'm just not going to leak it just yet. In any which case, 12 total teams heading towards the grand finals or towards the land finals, and we will see them what they can do or what and all we can be entertained with. But overall, this is the entire format and timeline. I am super excited. Arka, are you?
Oh, I am super duper excited, but at the same time, I would also want to know which city you guys think that we might head in case we are.
Oh, yeah.
For which we look at the planes, right? It's already been 3 days. That is Group A, B, C are done, and today we're going to be heading to Group D, and a lot of teams out there are well known, and that makes me even more excited. And we're going to continue for the rest of the 3 days. That is going to be Group E, F, and G respectively, and top 6 from each group will be heading into the group stages.
23rd July is going to be super blessed, and we have already seen the drill, right? 6 teams from each group. They're heading all the way towards the group stage. And what are they fighting for exactly? It's a 1 crore rupees prize pool where it's going to be segregated to a lot many teams. Wherever you depend on reaching, which is the first position, you get 35 lakh. Second position, you get 17 lakh. Third position, you get 7 lakh. And from there on, the prize pool keeps shrinking down. But grand finals MVP gets a special share, right? 1,50,000, and that's really good amount for your hard work, as you can go ahead and keep lifting your team up.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to give it your 100%. But again, the whole team needs to understand this. It's the very basics on which they can gain some points. A team walking away with the booyah is going to get 12 points. Whereas the rest of the teams, yes, you fall short if you're in the second place. But the number starts to dwindle down. As in a team placed at the 10th spot will get just 1 point. And below that, you need to just rely on eliminations.
Eliminations. If you have really good eliminations, just like Skill Max, then you can tabletop and still have no problem, because they could not get even a single booyah, but the way they have performed by getting those eliminations was super vital, and yet they have tabletop the entire position of yesterday's scoreboard overall. So that's just the kind of ability they have even forged yesterday. Today, it's all about Group D. And alongside that, it's a unique active skill that you go ahead and utilize to help your team the most. You cannot have 2 Zanes, you cannot have 2 Tatsuyas, just 1 in each of the corners. You can have something else like an Oscar as well, just to complement being the rusher, and alongside as a sniper, we all know the entertainment CEO comes into the picture, that is SKYLORD.
Yup, but again, you can have a lot of other passive skills which you can repeat amongst yourselves. So that is where the permutation and combinations will come into existence. But before which, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We look at the Group D teams from the top. We have got the OGs, iQOO, OGxTSG, and then the Bangalore City qualifiers. Winners, that's Team SMR, and then we have the Kolkata City qualifiers winners, that's CLUTZA Esports, and after which comes the OGs Resurrection.
There's a lot of big names, and in all of these we can see common faces. For example, Rackers Esports, I can see Kid. We have seen him play previously in the name of Nightmare, I believe. And from there on, he has continued his journey. 4 AM as well, one of the underdog teams. And I'm hoping that today these teams start performing in order to showcase what they're made of. Resurrection, this team, I believe, is going to have a lot of attention on them. But iQOO, OGxTSG, they're here to shatter a lot of hope. Ninja from the likes of Team Chaos. Last time, I believe that they had a very tough time in the overall group stages itself. They could not qualify. This time, yet again, they have the opportunity, and I'm hoping that they qualify.
Absolutely. Now, we have seen that even in the scrims, teams like DESI Esports, SEA Esports, they have been phenomenal in trying to survive until the end and also convert those 4v4s. But again, as you said, like Resurrection and Team Chaos, who carry some old names. We saw Dafik and Siddharth in that of Resurrection, and that excites me even more because these are the players who have proven to us in the previous FFMIC, right? They were so strong in those 4v4 battles. They pulled off some phenomenal 1v3, 1v4s, and we expect them to do the same thing again.
against Total Gaming nonetheless. Imagine that roster which has like
Yeah.
so much experience of LAN, so much experience in general online as well, and Dafiq is just going pumping them, and it's all about the fight caliber, right? And this dude
Yeah.
has it all. Resurrection, the name is right, and I'm hoping that they played according to that itself, Arca. It's a super exciting day, a lot of underdog teams, and in all of that there is even city qualifiers, specifically SMR Gaming Steam. Well, I'm hoping that it's going to be even more complicated, complex for the actual veterans to fight against them.
Speak out of veterans, we're going to be speaking more about CLUTZA in a while, but this is going to be the game schedule for the day. We're going to start off with the Snipers Paradise, that's going to be Kalahari. Then we're going to move on to the biggest map out there, Purgatory, and then the default. And then to make it much more interesting, the 4th, 5th and 6th are going to be the newer ones, the hotter ones, and the stronger ones amongst them all.
Oh, that's right. But it's just the first 3 games that we're going to go ahead and cast. And then later on, it's going to be Oro alongside Lucifer taking the reign. And then talking about 4, 5, and 6. And the drop spots for the current map, which is going to be Kalahari. Refinery, heavily contested by 4 a.m. Rackers. We have even DESI Esports, iQOO, OGxTSG. And in Command Post, we have SMR alongside Team Resurrection. You better be careful with the drop clashes, because in one spot, if there are 4 teams heading towards that area, you better have the control over the vending machine. Else, you're just going to be out of the game.
Yeah, confinement, right? We have got CLUTZA Esports I was referring to. We've got the OG, the veteran Kaushik, who's going to be joining us over there. And I'm excited to see what kind of gameplay he's going to bring in with those experience. Is he making a comeback as well? So it's important for him to make sure that he leaves a statement out here. But the southern and the northern side of the map being empty, nah, I don't think so. The teams are going to let it be. I think they're going to spread around. They're just going to be, deceiving us as well as the others, thinking that there's going to be a drop clash. But ultimately, these drop clashes are just entertainment in the beginning.
It's all about entertainment, and we have our top 3 locked and loaded. So viewers, if you guys want to compete with us, go ahead and give your prediction as well, because it's going to be super exciting, right? Having common names and seeing who knows about the teams or the players better. And my prediction is pretty simple. iQOO, OGxTSG, alongside I have DESI Esports and Resurrection, because why not?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought similar, but all of a sudden I've thought of adding CLUTZA because of the veteran name Kaushik. But with this, ladies and gentlemen, no further ado as we step into the map of Kalahari, the hottest map, because it's a deserty island. And let's not forget, the snipers are always having a banger of a time out here. And the flight path, dissecting the map into 2 equal halves, starting all the way from Santa Catarina, ending towards the maze, making sure that everybody who jumps into this map have a gala of a time.
Exactly. Love the dissection. And this is like, I don't know, second day we being completely blessed that the map is just parting in 2 different columns, and every single team, they're getting the opportunity to head towards their following drop spots just to get the weapons and their favorite ones nonetheless. And this is just a really good start. We can see Ronald in front of us, eagle eyes, bird eye view, and he's heading to his drop location.
4 a.m. Resurrection on the receiving end of things against Team SMR. It seems like they were able to recover well as they get 2 early eliminations at Command Post, where we were expecting action to happen out here. But again, since the revivals are out there, the teams are being very clever. But again, I see there's a lurking snake out here. Fayaz is going to get sniffed out as Kid puts him down with the Mac 10. And oh yeah, Breakers are also one of the teams to watch out for, because we have got Kid, who's done phenomenal in the previous 2 seasons.
Anshu Jr., lovely shots. Vedant could not understand where the opponent is. Those silent shots are just going to take him down. There you go, the stealth mode active, but he's been spotted. Dude's still been running around. He's trying to find where the opponent is, and there you go, inside the tent. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a very nice battle right here? Try next. He is up next for the fight, but for now it's just a stall simulation. As Freck, he has a very good angle behind, and Kid, he just wants to nullify him. Yet again, good shot been fired, and Kid, he has been dealt with. Oh, that was not at all good. Rackers, all of a sudden they're running away.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to add a point. Crossfire, my friend. It was a perfect setup coming in from the other side. They were able to backstab those who are trying to push in recklessly. But for now, it's going to be DESI Esports were just moving forward as they've got that early eliminations. The confidence surging, but can they put the opponents out in the beginning itself?
Oh, feels like it's going to be slightly tough as Rackers. They have the control over the vending machine, and I believe they have even revived their fallen comrade. One been dealt with as well. I do not know where the fight has been taking place, but all of a sudden I can see CLUTZA's name in front, and there you go, kid. He just got revived and he's taking yet another fight at Council Hall. This dude is unstoppable. What's happening to him?
No, I don't know, man. But for now, Fire, a kid gets taken down, and that's a bit of a concern. As CLUTZA, all the way at Council Hall, they were just waiting for some team to come in out here so that they can punish them. But Kaushik on the receiving end of things. Bully is not looking at that direction. So Fayaz, he's going to be happy with what he's got. But Bully lands one perfectly. Very low on HP. And Shubh immediately changes position. He calls his teammates and says, probably it's time for us to go and redeem ourselves.
Oh, FaZe, you better be ready for this. Couple of players pushing you. It can be a 1v2 coming in real soon. Shubh, what a lovely way to just go ahead and place things right in front. There is a chrono shield, and that helps them maneuver again and again and surprise the opponent from where they can exactly shoot him. Klutz, well, 3 eliminations, super strong. Good start nonetheless. There's just one, that is Kaushik, who's yet to open his account.
CLUTZA, 3 eliminations. They're going to be happy with this kind of a start, but Resurrection, look at them. They've already got 7. They've not taken no for an answer when it comes to a fight. As something is right now leading the fight. Dafiq and Siddharth are going to be sticking together, the deadly duo. They know how to maneuver with each other. Shadow play is what they're best at. Whereas something now falls back to his teammates because they need to bring back Zayan into the game. You need to have the man advantage before you get into a fight.
Equalize. That's how things are going to look like right now. There you go. Xian coming into the picture. Something just running around. And there's another fight taking place right there. iQOO OGxTSG against 4 AM. That's one of the fights that I would love to look at. Resurrection, they're still coming down into the ground. And Path, he's running away. He's parting ways from this entire shenanigan of iQOO OGxTSG. They've been constantly keeping tabs on the opponents, taking shots, raining them down, and getting those elimination points up to 4. So you better be away from the crossfire of iQOO OGxTSG. It's one of their favorite maps, so be aware.
Yeah, absolutely. Ronit with the Korg. Not something which we have not witnessed before. And from the Mammoth region, they'll have to move forward. But all of a sudden, I see somebody has used binoculars on them to get some information. Whereas the next point of contact seems to be somewhere away from this region. As Obito, far away towards Ronit, I can see him lurking around. But the UAV, has it done enough to reveal either of these locations? No, I don't think so. 4 AM, even they are very close to OGs in a certain way.
Oh, they're just chilling. Bringing in a lot of monster trucks, climbing those rocks, reaching towards Path. Gyro just wants to reach close to the teammates in order to call in for a rotation or even take a fight, right? You cannot take a fight solo. If you do, at this point of time in game, which is already about 6 minutes, then you're going to meet either an OM or you're going to meet an M24. Good weapons nonetheless, so take things slow, go for a 4v4 push, and that's how you can win fights. Finally reaching in towards the Council Hall. Yet again another fight being proved right here. There is TC alongside Klutz. Scary, he's stuck, he's inside the glue wall, completely pestered by bullets, and there you go, the flash freeze trying to take him out of that area. He's taking a lot of damage, and soon the glue wall is gonna melt. What's he gonna do?
Oh, he's just gonna suffice. He's just gonna walk away from this position. But Scary, it's too much for him as he can't control anybody else. But Kaushik on the other side, who got that bird eye view, is now plucked off. Or rather, he's just given the right kind of an answer for the opponents who try to push in. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, CLUTZA are looking really strong in this lobby because they've got 11 eliminations already.
Every single team who is planning to call in for a rotation towards Council Hall, even though Council Hall is not there inside the circle, they are making a big mistake. They're going in for revival for the vending machine, but at the end, they're paying the tax to Team CLUTZA. That's where the problem arrives. 4 a.m. taking shots against Ruckus. and I don't think so. Those shots are gonna align. Not a single person who has hit the eject button. And finally, they're resetting themselves. Gyro heading towards the fight. Shobit right in front. I don't think so. They're interested in taking this fight. They're taking a rotation outside the circle and they want to stay low-key hidden.
4 a.m. Those shots being persistent but still not getting paid off. That's going to anger them a little bit. As of now, we look at OGxTSG, who have already lost a player on it yet again. But yes, he gets revived quickly. And one thing what I like about OG is no matter what the lobby is, right? They're still sticking to the corners of the circle. They want to make sure nobody backstabs them. As they make it inside the circle, they know how to raise the lawn.
That's true. And that's indeed very smart. Usually whatever happens is like you're trying to rotate, you're going inside the circle, and all of a sudden there's a team come from the back. They're heading towards the sub or the mammoth area just to call in some rotations or given some revival. And being caught off guard, it's not at all good, and they absolutely hate that. Now heading towards the sub. All right, there's some very slow rotations. They're slowly reaching towards the circle. They're not at all hurrying things up, but CLUTZA, they need to hurry away as they ate the entire mag, but not a single damage dealt here. Xian, he's got to think about those choices he has already made.
You know, we have CLUTZA who've got experience. We've got Resurrection as well who've got a bit of experience, and TSDOG. All these teams are still playing at the corners of the circle. Whereas for now, Ayush comes in from the back lines. What a proper backstab and a cover for his teammate as they get their 7th elimination. And this is one thing which we need to learn from the experienced teams, right? Are they well prepared? Because now all of them trying to take that slow rotation. Are they going to be restricted? Are they going to be gate kept? Because the underdogs lately are looking very strong in their 4v4s.
Oh yeah, the underdogs. They've been ruling so far, man.
Yep.
The veterans, they're getting the opportunity. Sure, they have a lot of experience, but the underdogs, they're playing so well. Capitalizing on eliminations, getting booyahs after booyahs. RDX, we saw it just yesterday, 3 booyahs, a record set which yet no veteran team has broken it down. And again, Team Elite, they had 41 points, and there comes another team, NKG, who made it 45. So,
oh my god, what a shot by Saksham. He puts a player down and immediately a backup comes through, but can it do the damage? No! Another shot being taken. Aimbot has been phenomenal, but from a distance, what a shot through the window. You need to be aware of your topography and your building, or as that could be the case, but what a comeback that was. The 2 players who came in close, he was able to retaliate well, but iQOO, they get eliminated.
you know what the funny thing is? There's only 2 teams inside the circle and the others are still contesting outside this. What on earth is going on? Teams are planning to gatekeep each other just to head towards the circle? Then trust me, the ones who are already inside, they're going to have a ball. They're going to have breakfast in bed. As all of these players, they're going to call in the rotation towards the circle. Finally, I can see people heading all the way towards the eastern side of it. And they're slowly but surely reaching towards the circle. Smart choice, Resurrection, I'm talking about them. They have reached alongside SMR as well. Both of these teams soon might lock horns, but there's another team taking the fight, Team Chaos, trying to shut down the ones who have already reached inside the circle.
Yep, absolutely. As Resurrection make it inside the circle to a spot from where they'll get a bit of ridges to work things around with. All they have to do now is be careful because Chaos, they're not far away. They would have watched them fly into this region. They've also got a bit of a hard cover. Sadly, Chaos will have to make it inside the circle by foot as they have no vehicle or a launch pad for now. Look at the scary. Oh, shots were taken. The deadly SVD, but no knocks, and that means Resurrections now know that there is a team watching their backs.
Oh yeah. Team Chaos. Not just sitting ducks. It's on a spot where the opponents are. They've already seen where 4 a.m. is. But unfortunately, 4 a.m. keeping their location way too low-key. They want to be hidden. They do not want to be shot early and then lose a player and then head towards a vending machine. That's a lot of work. Oh, OGxTSG finally taking this fight. And it is DESI Esports right in front, and they've been completely peppered down, torn in shreds. As a couple of players are still alive, but they cannot be kicking at all as those nades, they're going to be parading right at them. And Ayush, he's healthy, and the entire team is alive.
Oh
Like
my
OGxTSG, that was a lovely battle, and they have won it in style.
Absolutely, absolutely. But again, what a push that was and what a retaliation. TSG, they were just 3 men over here. They completed a 3v4 flawlessly with just 1 man injured. But what's happening here? SMR versus Clutch. It's taking place as DVG gets taken down. Obito, who's got an angle on Shubo, is inside that Chrono Shield. Takes advantage of it perfectly as Sake, he gets in closer for the close range battle with the throw gun. Can he put him down? No, Sake gets taken out, but SMR, they've been clever. They've been picking up the players as quickly as possible, due to which they reign supreme in this fight.
Level 3 MP5. You dare not stand in a close range against that weapon. It's going to tear you to shreds. And that's what happened. SMR, lovely plays coming in. They're heading towards the circle. Now they have no competition at all whatsoever. Rackers against 4AM. This is one of the fights that I'm longing to see. What can 4AM do? They're outside. They're still seeing where the circle is closing in. And there's Team Chaos as well, gatekeeping them. But it's Resurrection's problem, where Resurrection, they are fighting tooth and nail for this compound.
Siddharth does a 1v2 for now. Now he'll have to revive his teammates, make sure that they have all men standing, as it's going to be Team Chaos from a distance doing all kinds of damage. Scary comes in to go for a revival, misses a lot of shots. Tafik uses the dash, gets in closer, but the glue walls is going to protect them to get that revival as well. A 2v2 in close range, but a 3v4 as we see one of the players in that long range keeping an eye on them.
No way, Tafik seems to be very rusty. He's still trying to help himself a lot, trying to connect those shots with his M590. Sadly, not now those connect. Finally, one of it is right on target. But Armo right behind Siddharth. Both of them running for their dear life. And Team Chaos, they have been swept clean. Those shots could have been way too crisp, but I believe that the pressure is catching hold of Tafik.
Absolutely, a 3-way Mexican standoff, but RACS now they push in to take down 4AM, and they do it with a snap of a finger. Look at that kid. He reigns supreme in this fight, gets 5 eliminations in total so far. They've also got a team who have just been spectators of this fight, waiting for an opportunity. Inside this building is SEA. We'll watch all of this take place. But Rakers, the aggressors of the lobby, have got 11 eliminations. Do not bother about them. They just make it inside the circle.
Oh, no
and now
way.
the gatekeeping scenario begins.
Oh yeah, now they definitely have to fall down. What can C do? They were trying to go ahead and get those eliminations just to make a huge puddle, but unfortunately that puddle is going to run away as Rackers, they have the advantage. They went further, sent in the sniper, and now look at them. They're paying for the price. C completely eliminated. iQOO, OGxTSG, they've been completely peppered down. The nades falling on them as SMR. They have the height advantage, but it doesn't matter. Those nades are spot on. Ronit, what else can he do for the team? 3 players still alive.
Wow.
Where is the 4th? The 4th has already been taken care of. Arjun, the sniper, he's no more there. SMR, they're taking the brunt of the circle, and they're still outside facing the rat, and they need to head towards the circle. What are they doing? They're still thinking what needs to be done. Revival, give it absolutely not. And iQOO, OGxTSG, they're just keeping it very clean and professional.
Absolutely, SMR, they're losing players. Sake, some Kate comes out in the open, gets tagged off. Blue on his belly, he also gets taken down. That's a Quadra coming in for Ronit, and he doesn't stop there. He puts the last player down as well and gets more confirmations in his name. Team SMR gets eliminated with 12 eliminations in their pocket. And guess what? Slowly and steadily, OGs, now they are starting to thumb their chest as they hold the center of the circle.
Crackers. They are the healthy lads out there. 4 members still alive. They're calling it rotation as Resurrection. They're heading inside the arsenal. But it's not going to be that easy as a couple of players are still alive. Soon they might fall, crumble down. But Tafik is doing God's work. He's already taken down Kid. Now the disadvantage for them as iQOO, OGxTSG, they themselves have 3 members alive.
Tafik puts up a landmine and then he steps on it himself. Not the kind of move. But luckily he gets revived. Now Siddharth and himself, they're trying to do their best. The glue wall melters, they're continuously putting some glue walls just to make sure that they don't get decimated by Rakers, who are now concentrating on OGTSG, who are prioritizing the circle. They find a hard compound for themselves and immediately jump there. Krish is just gonna fall back, hold on to that position. Now Ronit goes on top of the building. This could be the beginning of the end for the rest of the squads.
This is done for. I don't think so they even have the opportunity to stand their ground, and Shobit is outside the circle and he's HP way too low. One grenade launcher and Ronit just finishes things off in style. iQOO OGxTSG, this was one of the most cleanest booyahs that I've ever seen from their corner.
Oh my goodness, what a fight it was. Ultimately, Rakers, OGxTSG, we saw that resurrection. All of these teams surviving in the final moments. It all came down to who holds the best spot in the final circle. And they walk away with a booyah in style. What a game this has turned out to be. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I know you guys are going to be happy as your favorite teams are doing well.
Oh yeah.
Ronit, man, with that machine gun and the grenade launcher, every single corner was destruction from his side.
You know, teams were just getting submerged in relentless firepower, and I could see it in the faces of iQOO OGxTSG that they are here to claim the booyah. Regardless of SMR, regardless of SKYLORD's team, regardless of Rackers, no matter what happens, they had one answer: suppressing fire. And they suppressed them to the point where they just could not get up at all. I could see SMR Gaming's team, the entire lot, just on their knees begging for mercy, Arka, and the mercy was not given.
Yeah, I guess there was another team which kind of gave that opening to OG, and they were like, you know what, I can see that one guy is not, let's show them what we are made of. And the orangutans, damn, since there is no king in the jungle, they're like, we are the brains of the jungle. They played everything so strategically, holding the corners of the circle, and then they try to make it inside and hold the center out of nowhere, having the complete control of it.
You know, I was concerned. I did not see Arjun. I'm like, you know what, things are going to go south now. But no, Ronit was like, I have the control. Ayush alongside Krish, both of them performed so well in tandem, man. Trust me, wherever you see Chrono, you could see Krish with his Oscar dash, instantly coming out of it and then just breaking the backs of the opponent. Plus, his repositioning was so good. You saw the way the grappling hooks were used at the very end. They were like, you know what? You take the fight against Rakus, it's all right, Resurrection. But at the end of the day, we have the compound. We had the height advantage. And we got the booyah as well. So, lovely performances. As you can see, the damage game, it's not that great. But the eliminations for sure has just showered in their pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. 2,000, 3,000. My God, 2,500 is the bare minimum. But Ronit has been the most clinical with least damage and a maximum amount of eliminations. No wonder he's going to be the MVP of this game. With the Beast in and the Alvaro, wherever the grenades went, it always bombarded and dealt extra damage. But A124, just to make sure if somebody's pushing in with a skill, he'll nullify them and then pepper them down.
Oh yeah, 6 eliminations alongside the way he has been using M249. The best part about using an LMG is all you have to do is crouch. You use cord or you use this weapon, all you have to do is crouch and automatically those shots are going to align. You're just going to be spotting the opponent, peppering him down because the glue walls instantly falls away, man. That's how powerful this LMG is. And iQOO OGxTSG, no surprise there. 12 placement points, 16 eliminations with a total of 28 points. But Rackers Esports, 19 eliminations and 9 placement points. Imagine if Rackers got this game and they had the booyah, they would have table-topped this entire lot. But lovely performances coming in from Resurrection as well. Team SMR, they have surprised us quite a lot. CLUTZA as well, 14 total points. Esports, damn, 13 points on their name. SKYLORD Esports with 13, and from there on, it's all single digits. They need to wake up. It's the first game, I do understand, but cut no slack.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, all these teams, right, they're just warming up. But if you give the experienced teams this kind of a start, I don't think so you can stop them in the later stages of the game. with the OG getting 16 eliminations in the first one and almost feeling completely confident. I believe that they're going to just create havoc in the lobby after this. Now, we also have seen that teams like 4AM, who did start off well and suddenly we saw them getting eliminated, probably will look forward for a better rotation because the upcoming map is the biggest of them all.
Oh, yes. You have to be super precise as well. Purgatory, one of the maps where usually teams are going to be super aggressive just to see where they're going to head towards. Early game itself, just trying to wobble their confidence. And once they wobble it, you can easily go ahead and shut down the teams as well. I have seen so many teams just getting peppered from all the directions, just getting annihilated just because they called in a rotation. And that rotation came in between of, two teams sitting in two different compounds. So be aware of all of those situations. Use Dinoculus again and again because that is going to be super important for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the upcoming map is going to be the map of Purgatory. Do let us know in the chat which team do you think is going to walk away with a booyah. But again, I have another question for you guys. Do you think the team which walks away with the booyah will have the highest number of eliminations?
I do feel that from now on, it's just the bullseye thing, right? Oh, what? Brasilia, 5 different teams. Okay, I do understand lying on the resume is good, but there's this much lying. Why? Brasilia, 5 teams. I do not even. I think it's just going to be 2 teams heading towards Brasilia because if that spot is going to be heavily contested, then imagine the fate of all the other teams. SKYLORD, Forge, one of the places where I can see iQOO, but iQOO, well, in the previous game as well, I could not see them as their names were not popping off that much in the elimination feed.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, again, as you said, they've lied too much in their resume, and I hope to see, that take place. I hope that they prove us wrong because I really want to see a 5-team action in the beginning itself. I know that it's just going to be a 3v3 fight because the rest of the players are going to be here and there near the vending machines trying to get those revivals. But, those early few eliminations you get, that's going to be much more important. Nonetheless, we expect entertainment, whereas the teams out there are going to be put in that boiling soup. And for all you viewers out there, please share it among your friends. Make sure they all come out here at the same time. I want you guys to let us know which team is going to walk away with the maximum amount of eliminations.
Oh, that's such a good question, Arka. Like, even I wouldn't be able to answer that because the way the teams are performing, the form at which they are, even underdog teams are performing so well. So the competition has risen. So I have this very strong feeling that, well, the bars have already upped in this entire tournament, and we are going to head all the way towards Purgatory, the zipline flank base, where teams can easily call in the rotation and, you know what, catch players during the rotation as well. You're on the zipline, you won't be able to shoot, you're just on the cliff, and all of a sudden you're down on your knees begging for mercy. You never know what will happen. This is Purgatory.
Yeah, Purgatory it is, and the flight path a little bit skewed, and that makes me happy. Starting all the way from golf course, ending towards the SKYLORD region. There's a lot of space on the northern side of the map, and if you're heading towards Crossroads or Moat House, you're going to have a long journey up ahead in front of you. But let's not forget, we were expected to see Brasilia filled up, but only 2 teams there to fight out here. The same 2 teams, Team SMR and OG. In the previous game, we saw that it was Team OG who came up victorious, but in this one, we'll have to see whether SMR can retaliate.
SMR, all eyes on them, and a different fight taking place right here. Team Chaos earlier on itself trying to wobble the confidence of the opponents. And as soon as I see that, there is even SMR right in front. They want to stop the opponents on their track, but DVG, he's not at all doing a good work on that. As iQOO, OGxTSG, they're just here to get more points, and they very well will. A player has been knocked, but it's just a long-range battle. Soon it's going to be a close range as Ronit, he's going for a flank angle. And Brasilia is one of the spots where he just activates his killer instincts. And once he does, the VSS, it's going to shower a lot of bullets of death.
But look at the position of Drew out here. He has that option. But Krish comes in from behind. Shots miss out. If the first one had landed, probably a knock would have been visible out here. But Ayu says
all a distraction.
He steps in. He puts one player down, and the retaliation comes through. On the other side, the revival is quick from SMR as they put 2 players down. The pressure is now mounting over the OGs.
SMR, they had calculated all the risks. found that one way to escape out alive. Even though Dhruva is gone, it's all right. They can see the players are contesting for the recall tower, and Ronith, he's having the eyes on the opponents, and that's super important. Watch them where they're going to head towards, because SMR, they're not planning for a flank or anything. They're letting Ronith do his work, bring in the players, and then yet again snatch those points away from them. That's a really good tactic coming in. 2 revivals. There you go. Most revivals done by who? By Ronith.
Oh, shot again gets missed. Arjun this time around.
What, Arjun?
He's got Saket in front of him. Very low on HP. His teammate is also supporting. Oh, he's got to be tagged this time around. He gets taken down. Probably the first confirmation for OGxTSG this time. And there it is from Arjun. As 2 of the players are still flying down. DVG now is caught in a crossfire. He heads right into the crosshairs. He's got to be punished for it. Ayush puts him down. Gets that confirmation as well. And the OGs are now again thumping their test.
You know, the start was pretty wonky there, but all of a sudden they have things controlled in Brasilia. SMR, they're retreating, they're running away. Whoever flew down from the sky, they're not going to be seen there. Kaushik, shots missed, and now he's going incognito mode just to reposition. By the skin of his life, he's just alive somehow. But he needs to retaliate even harder. We'll see that soon. iQOO, close quarter, and there is even Team SKYLORD right in front, the entire area of Forge. All right, are they here to forge their legacy though?
Good question, but not this way. As Harsh can get taken down, shots being missed. Kaushik needs to watch out.
He
for
just
his
ran
back.
from there.
My goodness, how can he be so dumb at times? I guess it's all the pressure, right? At times I've also seen being more dumber than that. Nonetheless, CLUTZA, after losing Kaushik, needs to be careful. They could be pressurized right now, and that's what iQOO is doing. They're going to be pushing in forward without information, and that could be a bit of a problem.
Oh, and there you go. Russia is prepared for this. Nade right in front, and Dafik is one of the primary rushers. Once you see Dafik enter a compound, you cannot exit without your life being in your hands. Oh, Ninja, you better be aware. The Riptide Rhythm and Ninja, he's got red-handed and he's been taken down as well. Siddharth doing the heavy lifting there, and Ninja completely annihilated. Team Chaos could not create any chaos whatsoever. This is one of the places where we usually have seen the fight coming in. Klaus right in front, and Harsh, he had his fan doing what? Swatting in air?
I don't know, man. I don't think so. He expected somebody to be there, but CLUTZA, all of a sudden, oh my goodness, the grenade launcher landed perfectly, did a hefty amount of damage. Look at him, Klaus. Every single move from his side has been phenomenal so far.
See, that's the reason every single time you gotta read the documents. There's always a clause.
Ah, that's the claw, right? I thought he was Santa Claus.
Well, he did give a surprise, so I don't mind him giving a surprise at all. iQOO contesting the vending machine. All that I do see there, but Klaus, he's just rushing in. He gave it a revival as well. What? How could he allow him to do that? And Klaus goes ahead and takes out yet another player. What? Max 7 in hand. Dude just constantly parades around the corner, and he's still contesting Forge. He's a solo survivor for CLUTZA, and this dude, he's so quick as a whip.
Dhruva from SMR, he gets caught yet again, and this time OG says thank you as they get one more elimination up their sleeve. 6 so far, and probably 4 to 5 of them came from Team SMR themselves. With this, OGs now head back to the corners of the circle. And from here, you can see a slow rotation, but a healthy one coming from this side.
Same, sticking to the basics. Whatever they did in Kalahari is done in Purgatory as well. Checking for any birds in the sky. Arjun, dude's quick as a whip, and he knows that he needs to do this as he's the sniper of the team, and he loves to land those shots earlier on itself. The moment the opponent gets the opportunity to land in Purgatory, he loves to nullify them. And I would not want to be in front of his crosshair at all. This dude is a mammoth, man, when it comes to taking good shots. There you go. There's another fight coming in. CLUTZA, they're constantly keeping their hopes up again and again just to get a couple of eliminations or confirmations. But Rackers, the last man standing, Mistress, he's running away. He's a solo flag bearer, and Resurrection, they have the number of where the opponent is. And there you go. That's a big fall for this team, completely being annihilated. And back to the lobby, says Resurrection.
Dafik, man, he's a mad driver. What a jump, what a push that was. All he had to do was just press that accelerator. And the elimination just followed up. 7 already from the single lad. You know, it's been just 2 squads eliminated. Even if I do the math right, out of the 8, 7 is already in his pocket.
You know, I take it back, Dafiq. I take it back. I do not know whether you heard it or not. I hope you tuned into the English desk, because I did mention that you have become rusty, but unfortunately, that's not the case. You're not at all rusty. 7 eliminations? What on earth is going on?
Out of the 10, 7 coming in from his side shows how the team just trusts his skills.
That's 70%.
Exactly. It's good for us to see that CLUTZA on the other side. It seems like they know there's a player close by. They come in over here. But what is he doing? He just runs away at the moment, but I don't think so he's going to survive.
Yeah. Truth be told, he's not going to survive that. Bully. Yeah, there you go. It's in his name. He's going to bully you to death. Wherever you run, wherever you hide, Bully has a number. And instantly he hears the phone going tring, and he's like, oh, okay, I found you. Takes those lovely shots, get the confirmation as well. But that one player of SMR, what? All of a sudden, he became a carpenter in the middle of the game.
Yeah, but I've not seen anybody hide like that. That shows the kind of fear they are in right now. Running away, hiding between the logs. And now we've got Orangutan fallen back. They understood that probably this is enough for us. But Resurrection on the receiving end of things. Duffing down on his knees. Needs to get revived immediately. As FLE, they're trying to do their best now. They're cooking up a grenade. It's going to be Siddharth. Duffing back on his feet. He's going to be pushing in. Look at him. Look at him. Nobody's there to stop him. You step out of that cover. He lands a shot, and that's what he's trying to do. Siddharth on the other side with the Trogan. Puts 2 down. Gets the confirmations as well. And Ayush. Oh my goodness. Siddharth this time around has picked up 3.
Siddharth is the sniper. Oh, he's the bomber of the team? All right. He was changing the entire pathway of the way he's functioning, but my oh my, the Trogan shots are just hitting spot on to the opponents. And flawless, they did not have a flawless game even in the beginning. Kalahari was not at all good for them, and now being heavily suppressed by such good firepower, I believe their confidence has already gone down to crisp. Something. Oh, calling in a new driver, Siddharth. All right, I see how you guys want to play it. Going in towards the circle, leaving 4 AM behind. Because the circle damage is one thing that you would love to ignore or negate as soon as possible. Stay inside the circle, good covers. Earlier on, that's going to help you a lot. But the last member of DESI Esports, who's right here, stuck, stranded, he's been eliminated. Could not do much there. And the others, I believe they're inside the circle somewhere, trying to call in a revival.
Ninja, the sniper from Team Chaos. What a beautiful shot that was. Whereas Team SMR, finally they get revived. Now, they're 100% in a path of redemption. They need to make sure they come in and strike at the right time. OGs, they found themselves inside the circle. They've got a bit of a hard cover here and there. The boxes, the toppled vehicles. Let's not forget, you know, they've read this lobby so well, to be frank, Ozora, because they understood that there's not many hard covers. They need to make it quickly, and that's what they've done.
Oh no, 4 AM. Gyro being the last man standing as Bully and Team CLUTZA, all of them unite, and they're taking fire. It's heavy firepower coming in from their end. I don't know whether they're using some kind of a jutsu, which is a shadow clone jutsu, because they're everywhere. Seeing where the opponents are rushing towards. It's the same thing with iQOO OGxTSG as well. They're everywhere, basically. They have those glue walls, and those glue walls say just one thing. It's our logo. Nobody can mess with us. The previous game was really good, and Ninja, even though he has the prime spot, he can see where iQOO OGxTSG is. Even if he takes some shots, it's okay. The resurrection will come soon, but Team Resurrection has been uprooted from Purgatory. So that's how Purgatory purges certain teams if you make heavy mistakes.
CLUTZA, Bully especially, he comes in and does a 1v3 against Resurrection. I would have loved to see that again, but for now, the bigger pictures as SMR, Team SMR's Obito has picked up 2 players, probably got the confirmations as well. Is he stealing it at a distance? It seems so. As CLUTZA now tries to make it inside the circle, Shubo needs to be careful as Claus is busy healing. It's Gyro in front of them, and they see another player. And a jump shot puts the team out, gets another one as well. Claus, you read about another one. He gets one more in his name. 7 eliminations so far. He's got one more in front of him. Can he achieve another?
Oh my god, this is the kind of confidence you need earlier on in these maps itself. He knew that Purgatory is going to be one of the places where teams are just going to call in the rotation just like that. And he saw the fight. He just saw the fight and he just actively took part, got the eliminations as well, wiped the team single-handedly, even though there was a last member standing. But again, a team wipe is a team wipe, irrespective of how many members were there.
The calm before the storm. I can see that TSG are now interested to head back towards Team SMR. Could this be retaliation or could this be another set of teams just wiped out? Sanket again in the crosshairs. Arjun puts him down. He sees that DVG is trying to come in closer. Shots again, not missing a lot. Obito, you show your feet and then you're done.
Obito being the sniper of the team, but SMR, Sanket, even though he's getting a lot of warning where the opponent is, it is Arjun. He knows how to shoot. And he just knows where the opponents are. The cover fire heavy as the card has been used, suppressing the opponent. And there you go. It's a heavy turmoil in SMR Gaming. They're taking a different route altogether. They're not going to mess around with iQOO OGxTSG yet again. This is like the 4th time they're locking horns. And 4th time they've lost against iQOO OGxTSG.
This was a time where CLUTZA could have just pounced upon OGxTSG because they were so busy. They've dealt a bit of a damage because of the zone as well. Nonetheless, we have to be careful with what happens next. Team SMR gets eliminated at the 6th position. This time around, they don't have enough eliminations as well. But 12 eliminations strong, and CLUTZA with 17 are the 2 top contenders for the Booyah in this game.
Again, a top 4. iQOO OGxTSG. This time, even Team Chaos is there in the mix. Team CLUTZA Esports. Alongside, I can see even SKYLORD. This is all really good. But if this giant Jenga works, Arjun can have a really good time. This angle, nobody can see it nonetheless. He's just going to capitalize it to perfection. There you go. Spots where the opponents are. And they have the entire hangar by their name, but they're outside the circle. So they need to head towards, and they're using a launch pad to do this? All right.
A quick launch pad to get closer. 12 eliminations, and they can already smell some blood. They see Shubo showing his back. Now is the time to strike. Oh, the grenade launcher.
Oh, nice.
They do a bit of a damage coming in from the other side.
There
Is another
you go.
player. It's got to be Krish. Busy taking down another squad altogether. This divided attention. CLUTZA can take advantage, but OGxTSG, they've got that crossfire. They know to come in from different angles, but still have each other's back. As Krish and Ayush, they're trying to do their best. They've got information, but CLUTZA, now they're confined in a corner. And let's see who survives.
It's always going to be orangutans. CLUTZA, regardless, they have a very nice compound. They need to watch their backs. Right now, the shot's being fired at FaZe. He at least takes 1 member down, but instantly revived. There you go, Team Chaos completely annihilated. Glue walls, they need to be melted right about now. As Team Sky, they're heading towards the vicinity, just trying to take those fights. FaZe, yet again, taking down Ronit. And that's a big mistake. They need to eliminate and completely annihilate the team. If they just knock them, that's not going to help out. As TSG, they're forming a single pack and they're staying together. There you go. If they head all the way towards the top of this compound, then it's done for. There you go. Arjun is here. This is done for. Now they're going to wait for Team Sky to take a fight against Team CLUTZA. And that's it. That's it.
OGs again thumping their chest. All they need to do is take out CLUTZA from this game to grab that Booyah. Fayaz in deep trouble. Arman as well. He's now known. His position is compromised. Abhinav as well doesn't have any clue where these grenades and shots are coming in from. He gets taken down, and the spectators in this game for now, the silent assassins are going to be CLUTZA, waiting for that opportunity. 17 eliminations in the name of OG, and now they'll have to step out of comfort.
It's going to be a lovely 4v4. Team CLUTZA versus iQOO OGxTSG. iQOO OGxTSG, a lovely start. Couple of players already knocked, and the other two, they're slowly but surely wanting to revive, but it's not going to be that easy as iQOO. She was just waiting behind the glue wall to see what's going to happen next, and that's yet again another booyah back then by iQOO OGxTSG. Irrespective, it's the presence of mind that this team has, and it's so flawless.
Disrespect to the opponents, but respect to one in this game. Orangutans have come out supreme yet again. 22 elimination points with 12 placement points. 34 in this game, and they make it to the 50s already in just 2 games. Somebody stop this team before they qualify, even before the 3rd game, or probably even before the end of the 3rd game.
Oh yeah, there you go. This is how the entire cookie crumbled. iQOO OGxTSG, couple of players on top. Look at the way Ronit is using his god to perfection, and the other two, they were swarming the opponents. They went outside the circle, they took the fight, and iQOO, she was so sneaky peeky. His spidey sense tinkled, and he just knew where the opponents are going to head towards, and he just took a very clean shot with M590. But this time around, it is Arjun getting the MVP title as he has performed amazing. Morse, yes, many snipers have adapted to this situation overall, and I do like the combination of it. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, absolutely. The new default, but Arvon for the information, and that's why he's got 6,668 damage. My goodness, this man, he's got 30 knocks in that way. He's got 8 eliminations with 6 assists. No wonder he's the MVP. I thought that Kalahari is going to be a sniper's paradise for Arjun. It was spaghetti.
Always, always. Arjun, he just sees the opponent, and from there on, it's just seizing that moment. Lovely damages. 666 El Diablo, yes sir, alongside 6 assists. So there's a lot of 6s right in front of us, and this dude has played it so well. Arvon, you could see the binoculars being used so many times, 3 times nonetheless in the game, to see where the opponents are exactly. Not like the pinpoint location, but exact number of how many people are there towards that area, and giving that information has helped Arjun a lot. Marco, Moko, and we all know Raphael. Once you knock a player down, he bleeds pretty quick, and that's the composition usually we see in the hands of a sniper. iQOO OGxTSG yet again at the tipsy top, but this time there's no one to overshadow their performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Team SMA being consistent yet again. Team Chaos follows up closely. They've got 14 for themselves. Resurrection, another 15-pointer. And that means teams like DESI Esports, Flawless Esports, SEA, Rakers especially, these are the teams who need to wake up, because by the next game, you're going to be done with half your games.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is lovely numbers coming in, but there's only double-digit till SKYLORD Esports. That's it. Last time at least we could see all the way towards the 8th or the 7th spot. But this time it's all about those number games, which is just snatched away. The opportunity is seized. And in order to be there, active, and get those eliminations, you got to give your 100%. These are the 5 teams that we saw in the top 5, and that's how the entire place was looking towards quietly heading all the way towards the top of the map, and then calling in resurrections after resurrections. But well, I did see Team Scary having a very nice spot there, Arka, but still they could not capitalize. I could see Ninja at the prime spot where he could see so many opponents. He got knocks, but not the confirmation. So he definitely needs yet another sniper in the team.
No, this was the point, right, where Team Chaos could just prioritize the center of the circle, probably pounce upon the weaklings, but for some reason, they just held back, and that is where OG just changed their position, welcomed them in that open spot, and then finished them off. So probably the IHL will be learning this lesson a hard way, and next time we can see them perform well. But look at that CLUTZA. Every single circle they were involved in a fight, but it's just that they were not prepared for the OGs.
Circle number 3, I do understand iQOO, OGxTSG, they were just rotating in, they were just seeing where the opponents are heading towards. That was the only quiet section or the segment. But other than that, they had some really good time. iQOO, OGxTSG, 2 games and 62 total points with 2 booyahs on their name. So I believe the record of having 3 booyahs in a single day is going to break real soon.
Yeah, absolutely. But with this, ladies and gentlemen, we see the overall standing where OGxTSG on the top with 62 points, inching towards the 100 so quickly. CLUTZA 42. And then we have Resurrection 35. All these teams we expected to do well are actually doing it. Breakers, even though they did not play well in the previous game, the first game's advantage is still there in their hands. Team SMR 30, but the bottom of the table is where Intense and Flawless will have to come up with a booyah.
They haven't quite yet understood the assignment, right, Arka? They haven't understood the assignment. It's problems paradise for them. And soon they have to get out of it. Because if they're going to stay there, then you know what's going to happen. You're not going to qualify. And if you do not qualify, you're not going to see the group stage. Because top 6 teams are heading towards the group stage. But talking about the top 3, right? These are my predictions. iQOO, OGxTSG. There's even Resurrection. There's even CLUTZA Esports because of their performance day in, day out. From your end, I can see Team Resurrection alongside Rackers and iQOO, OGxTSG.
Yeah, because I'm just relying on those who can actually pull off that 4v4. These are the most aggressive teams in the lobby. If given a chance, a little bit of confidence you add in their pocket, and all they're going to do is become the dynamite of the lobby. So ultimately, that's why I go with them, because the third game is where most of the teams risk it all. They're like, probably this is the only place we can do it, because obviously it's the map of Bermuda.
You have to be a dynamite. Absolutely. Become RDX from the previous group itself and showcase how well you can perform. Next game is in Bermuda, and we all know it's a vanilla map and things can go south any moment, because all of these teams have performed or played in this map so many times that it's their favorite. It's their home ground. And nobody would want to go away from the home ground without scoring any points. So would love to see the pairs, whether they can do something or not. But there's in every direction I see a drop clash. Pochinok, yes. Sentosa, yes. Hangar, yes. Observatory, absolutely, yes. Rimnam Village is the only spot where I can see Resurrection is like, you know what, we're away from all of these. No shenanigans whatsoever. Starting battles, who even takes that? We're going to do it later on.
For Team SMR, right now, they've changed their drop spot. Suddenly they step away from OGs, because obviously the first 2 games has been a lot of difference when it comes to the talent between the teams. Or probably it's the pressure, right? We have seen that the underdogs, for the first time they qualify, they come in, they come in from the city qualifiers where they kind of dominate, and all of a sudden they see a T1 team. If they can take them down, the story can be different.
Well, if you take down the tier 1 team, specifically iQOO, OGxTSG, what my friend is trying to say, that's when you can at least get some elimination points or even score a booyah, let alone all of that. But we're going to head all the way towards Bermuda, the mid-range sandbox, where things are going to go haywire at any given moment. Because the arsenals, once you open them or breach them, you get some really good weapons. And from there on, things are going to go even more south. This is a lovely flight path all the way from Rimnam Village. If Resurrection wants to drop down towards Rimnam Village, it's just going to be a 1-second chore. And the others who want to head all the way towards Cape Town or Creighton, then, well, go ahead, do it. Mill is also open. So head towards all of these spots, get your loot, and then take in an early skirmish.
Look at Pochinok, look at Rimnam Village. Already we can see a lot of action take place. Resurrection, they see SCA walking into the crosshairs, and they're not going to stop the peak. No, HB, something also gets taken down, and that means now the revivals will have to come through. But Resurrection, they live by their name, immediately revive themselves, and they're back in this game.
Look at Rackers, they heard all the commotion, and Kid, he's very quick to follow. HP way too low, now we need to fall back. That's the only task he has currently. But wait a second. Anshu Jr., a lovely shot with the cord, and he isolates one of the players. Just the start that they were expecting for. And Kid, he's just healing himself again and again. We want to be 100% in order to take a fight against Sidak. Sidak, well, we all know the Kingfisher, close range, is just going to shred the opponent into pieces.
Sidak still takes that risk as the opponents are busy trying to see where the opponents are. He comes in. Oh my god, misses it by a bit. But it's Anshu from the distance who gives that cover fire. Now Kid very low on HP. If he gets taken down, the story will be different. Arju gets taken down rather. And now every other player eventually is going to get converted. As Resurrection, they're going to be happy with this 5 eliminations as they walk into their open arms. And the revivals as well, right? We have seen this happen time and again. That teams who are able to revive their players as quickly as possible have always got a great advantage.
Like OGxTSG, close against Team Rackers. Rackers, couple of players went all the way towards Rimnam village, and the other two, they're towards Peak. They took a fight here, they won it, and they're still alive. Rackers, be aware, 4 members are pushing currently. And Mistress, he already knows, he has heard those footsteps. And I'm hoping that he's prepared for this, as Kid is way too far. They need to band together.
Another fight taking place towards the Mars Electric region, where we see that Team SMR as well as Team Chaos are in a kerfuffle. Both of them going punching. Oh, look at this Mysterious. Very low on HP. And Ayu says, I'm just going to be persistent as he follows up closely. He sees the player. He sees him because the horse is giving it away. But Ayu slowly and steadily, he knows that he can't escape from this position. ACAT.
Oh, Ayush. He's prepared for this. He has his own ACAT. And those shots are going to connect as Arjun from a far off angle. He's just providing a lovely cover fire. Arjun HP low as sick. He's trying to take the battle, and Arjun quick to hit the retaliating button. And 4 AM. They're paying for the sins. Look at the way Ronith is heading all the way towards the top. He saw 4 AM calling the rotation with the launch pad, and he's already there taking the frag against Gyro. And there you go, the confirmation. He's still alive. How is he alive?
Oh, I don't know, man, but this man is turning out to be a menace in this lobby. He falls back for his teammates to come in and put up a deadlock out here. Default needs to make sure that he runs away from this position. He falls back to an extent, but Arjun sees him. He puts a lot of damage against him. The retaliation is not there, but with the melee, puts him down a bit. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, another elimination goes through into the hands of OGxTSG.
You take them down, you get the eliminations. It's as simple as that, but nobody is contesting against them. The only way to do it is third party, but finally, Flawless Esports, they have a good start. They're taking down the members of SKYLORD. Calling in the rotation, they have the car as well, easily heading all the way towards the circle. That's going to be pretty simple for them. It's not that easy, right? You need to even understand where the opponents are rotating towards. Dinoculus, you gotta use that. And CLUTZA Esports, they're taking a fight against Esports. Sadist, he's running away. He's not at all being sadistic about the situation. And Shub, by the skin of his teeth, he's alive, still kicking. And Sadist, he's trying to run away, trying to buy time. But I don't think so he can bite anymore. 2 members following through. And the glue wall, it's not going to help him a lot. There you go. Shub taking some really clean shots with the ACAT, and Bully just healing himself, going for yet another fight as Bullseye is completely contested.
One corner of the circle being grazed, ladies and gentlemen, by CLUTZA. Whereas on the other side, towards Mars Electric, there was a bit of a fight which took place, and suddenly Team SMR, they've gone to the northern side of the map away from that fight. Whereas we can see that the elimination feed is still going bonkers, with CLUTZA trying to do their best in clearing things off. Team Chaos as well, they're using the grenade launchers. But iQOO, on our screens, they've got CLUTZA right in front of their eyes, but will they dare to fire against them?
If they give away their location, iQOO, this might be a lost cause. Oh, they have already given it. Ayan is way too antsy, checking those corners, scoping in, scoping out, seeing whether he can at least hit an opponent or two. But unfortunately, he's the one being hit upon. He instantly goes in hiding. Still tabs being kept there. Shub, smart as always. This is the replay. Saksham right in front, could not do much. Esports, that's a very sad start for them. And Bablu did try his level best, and this was where Sadist, he thought that he was playing it smart by putting a glue wall in front of 4 windows. Unfortunately, the window of opportunity was given to Team CLUTZA.
Team CLUTZA 6 eliminations already. Losing a player. Bully, very clever. He knows there's a vending machine close by. So he just looks up to the sky to see if somebody comes out there. But Kid, what a shot with that woodpecker. He's going to be happy with that, as the confirmation is going to follow up soon. No friends whatsoever close by. Sick will eventually bleed out. But 4 a.m. They're trying to run away.
No.
Kid says, no, I'm not going to let you breathe, as Parth will have to retaliate. But again, shows us back in the open. Gets another shot connected. But from an off angle, another player is already starting to pepper him down. Parth start to fight back, or probably this could be the beginning of you, my friend, because he's got that M90. Jumps and connects. Gets that confirmation as well, as Parth 7 needs to head back to the lobby.
This is a complete different look of Kid. He is confident. He's running around rampant since game number 1. Even though he was isolated in majority of the fights, he did not lose his confidence. And that's the kind of rusher you need, who has the can-do attitude. And Kid, he has it. Abhinav, not at all a good sight for him, as Resurrection right in front of him, bouncing, taking him down. Those fights are going to cost a lot, and he yet again needs to reset, getting good weapons. If it's going to be a cheap buy from the vending machine, then no weapons for you, my dear friend. But if it's an expensive buy, which is a super revival, then at least you're going to get a weapon or two. But in all of that, right, you got to call in a very good rotation. Bullseye, even though it's inside the circle, CLUTZA Esports, who's not at all clumsy at this point of time, getting 6 eliminations, that's really good for them. It's a very nice start, heading all the way towards SMR. I would love to see that battle. But Rackers, they're racking up even more points.
At Pochinok, they are, my friend. But again, as we saw, several teams are trying to come to this corner of the map with a lot of hard compounds. But will they have enough inside the final few circles? We have always seen this pattern take place. CLUTZA realized that Team SMR is close by. Claus already sees it with the woodpecker aimed up. If somebody peeks out, a shot is gonna land. Claus says it's better we fall back and wait for the next circle.
Taking things way too slow. Graveyard. Well, it's a lovely spot where Team Chaos, they themselves want to dig their own grave. But how fancy is that grave is the question. They've already caught a compound, which is really good, and they have a recall tower as well. But they need to be super aware that if someone shoots them from the back, or even one of the members is gone, then they have no vending machine whatsoever. So play it smart. It's as simple as that. TSG, well, they're close. They're pretty close. Plantation, one of the spots where even there's Flawless Esports. Well, Flawless Esports, whether they'll be the fodder or they might shut down such a gigantic team, well, let's see that real soon.
It's not going to be easy. You need to strike hard and you need to strike first. Roneth already knows that there's a team pushing in. He calls in Ayush, and Ayush says, I'm just right behind you. Go ahead. Roneth connects some shots out there. Rusher and Quiet are in deep troubles, and suddenly they use a launcher to just run away from this position. But the sniper has no idea. As Roneth says, probably they're trying to evade from this fight. Now he knows they're flying.
That's a mistake! That's a huge mistake! Rusher won. He wanted to run away from there. There was a launch pad, but unfortunately he landed right in front. Just 1 meter away from the launch pad. And there you go. The elimination point secured. iQOO OGxTSG, they are super confident and now heading all the way inside the circle from Plantation, knowing that there's no one on their backs. This is the most satisfying feeling that you can get in Free Fire Max.
Absolutely. You take down a team and you also get a free launcher to fly in, right? What else do you need? And they make it to the corner of the circle where nobody's going to backstab them. But CLUTZA, look at this. For the first time, I see no team has got a double digit. Every other team is fighting it out. Everybody have got a single digit elimination. Let it be the bottom team till the top one. At least one by every team out there.
Oh, yes. But I would love to see the tangent that this team is going to create. Kaushik, the veteran, he has returned from retirement. So that's a huge statement right there. He's like the Thanos, right? Fine, let me do it. Gets hold of the gauntlet and instantly goes for the snap. So let me see how well Team CLUTZA is going to perform here, as they've already gotten really good elimination points, but it's the Booyah that they're aiming for. Each and every team eyes on the 12 point, but there's one person who had the eyes on the vending machine, but Resurrection said, no, not today.
That's ours for the taking. 12 eliminations. Slowly, Dafi is taking a step back and allowing his teammates to pick up some eliminations. But this time around, he sees that player, he pushes in, gets that shot, gets the confirmation as well. 13 eliminations. They've got a launcher right next to them, but rather, they say, let's wait it out. Oh, they need to look at the sky because somebody is sneaking in closer to get a revival.
Oh yeah, flawless esports. They're falling from the sky. I hope they do not become yet another elimination point. But Ayush, keeping tabs on where the opponents are, constantly taking those pot shots just to make them uncomfortable inside the circle. 4 a.m. Well, the bolts, the lightning, it's falling on them. And finally, that lightning zone, which was created by one of the opponents, has come to a stop. Solo! Oh, he's being very sneaky. Arjun, you better be aware about this. As that one player is going to take down multiple and Solo. He's been caught red-handed, proning on top. And Krish, he's just trying to become one of the steps that Ayush is going to take and soon reach there. But alright, one misstep and he falls down. Solo still surviving by the skin of his teeth, but not for a longer time. Oh, there you go, Arjun. Gets the elevated angle and takes him down.
A beautiful shot connecting, and he's got to be satisfied with that as he turns around to see where the next chaos is. Because I see a bolt maker on OGs, and they're outside of the circle. They need to jump in immediately, or else this could be the beginning of the end for them. Breakers and SMR, the unwanted neighbors of each other. And guess what? Resurrection just flies into the same spot. This could be a three-way Mexican standoff. Could be.
Could be Resurrection. They're all banding together against Rackers. And the nade. Mysterious. Alright, that was not at all mysterious. He has already announced his welcome. That he's right beside them. And in the front, it's SMR. SMR not at all taking a single shot, even though they have the window of opportunity. But iQOO OGxTSG, they've completely annihilated yet another team.
This is where team starts to pick up frags. And some of them need to get serious as well. SMR from a distance takes down Kaushik. Could that be the opening for Resurrection to rush in? Or are they going to play it clever? Because 3 teams have got double-digit elimination so far. TSG, CLUTZA, and Resurrection.
Oh, Krish, he needs the revival.
Oh, no.
Else he's going to bleed out. Lovely shots! Anju Jr. He's just on point. Rackers! Did they shut the entire team down? Yes, they did. iQOO OGxTSG, the top dogs, the top contenders, did not get the opportunity to get a hat trick of the Booyah. And it is Team Rackers doing the heavy lifting in this lobby.
Anshu Jr. doesn't miss much, but this time around he saw the opponents were running out in the open. And he was like, let's take them down. But Team SMR, now they're there to step out of their cover. They're weaving their way to make sure they get into another one rather than getting into fights. But the Bolt Maker called in. Has it landed perfectly? Yes, it has. And now Team SMR needs to run into another cover, but DVG gets taken down.
Oh, no.
The Assaulter down, and that means they're going to be weakened a bit more. Sanket also gets taken down. Obito, the IGL, what can he do? He also gets taken down, and that means Dhruva, the last man standing, needs to be careful. Gets that revival through, but can he survive?
When 2 teams are shooting at you, all you have to do is throw your weapons down and call it surrender. With Resurrection, they're taking fight against Rackers, and Rackers, they've been completely annihilated. 20 eliminations in the name of Team Resurrection, and they're not going to stop just yet. Car98K, and they've spotted yet another Team SMR eliminate in the midst of all of that, and it is Team CLUTZA, close by Ninja, and the point is one that they're waiting for. CLUTZA, presence of mind on point, and they're still looking for Ninja. They're like, it's alright, the moment you come out, it's either going to be our point or 4 a.m.'s. But 4 a.m., I'm super happy for them. All this time they were waiting to get inside the circle, but not at all, says the team. 2 teams taking fire at them, and they're completely annihilated. But wait! Xian! It's a one and done situation as he has the arm in hand, but the revival is coming through. CLUTZA, they're stuck in the corner, nades being thrown right at them, and they're completely bombarded, but still they're alive and kicking.
Ninja is right behind that, but again a grenade connects perfectly, and this could be the beginning of the end, ladies and gentlemen. CLUTZA caught behind that compound, but Resurrection says we're gonna rush in. Look at that. The dash comes through, but the glue walls are still there. Resurrection trying to do their best. Duffy gets taken down, Siddharth, and something will have to pull off something great, and they do it with Duffy getting revived and getting those confirmations as well. A booyah goes into the hands of Resurrection with a double-digit elimination.
39-pointer of a game, Team Resurrection. Way to showcase that your firepower has not been isolated. You are still the ones who can run rampant given the opportunity. And what a performance by them. And let's head to see what just happened in the final moments where Resurrection just constantly saw an element of surprises after surprises. And CLUTZA, kudos to them. Look at them. Tight corner, still alive. 3 members were kicking, but they did not come out of the glue wall. They should have. When they had the opportunity, when Resurrection was going all the way from the back lines, cleaning the entire house, they should have come out. And that's the mistake that they made. But overall, that was a lovely game coming in. Siddharth being the MVP and the others just following through. The Feek, something. Both of them performed so well, and Zian, way to give the cover fire. 4 AM was completely obliterated, all thanks to this dude.
I mean, Zian was like taking down a team, and then he realized that, wait, somebody's stealing my eliminations. What I need to do right now is turn around and pick them up. And that's what he did against, against anybody who was visible on the screen, to be frank. But again,
Oh my god.
look at that, 6,900 damage from this lad, 10 knocks and 7 eliminations. But Siddharth was the man doing the talking with 4,375 damage and 9 eliminations out of the 10 knocks. Being the Grenadier, all he had to do was land it to perfection.
Zian, I'm gonna take a bow, man. This is 300 more than the previous MVP. That was what, 666 and 3? And this is just crazy good. But the MVP goes to the one who gets the highest number of elimination. And Siddharth, being the Grenadier of the team, has done a lot. M79, oh yeah, of course. Being the Grenadier, this is going to be a friendly weapon. But not for the opponents, though. Thiva, Suzy, Alvaro. All right, sticking to the basics. And Chrono, whenever the rushers require the support, this dude is present right there. Alongside Thiva, we all know the quick resurrections helped them get back to where they were. And the fights were taken flawlessly. Siddharth, take a bow.
With this, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the game standing. As Resurrection are on the top with 39 points. But have they dethroned OGs on the top? We'll have to wait and watch in the overall. But CLUTZA, they get 24 in their name for all the hard work. OGxTSG, yet again, being consistent. They were probably looted by that booyah. But they made mistakes, right? They were running out in the open. And they had to face the price. Rackers were the other team who put them down. They've got 10 eliminations, due to which they get 15. 4AM got 14. Team Chaos 13. All the teams are starting to heal, whereas the teams who are doing well are now starting to fumble.
You know, there's one thing, right? If you want to take a player down, for example, Ninja from the likes of CLUTZA, they were eyeing for that one elimination point, but they just got way too greedy. They just stood there waiting from where the opponents are going to rotate, and that was their undoing. So get those elimination points as soon as possible, or just leave it. It's okay. That one single person, he might take a player or two, or you never know. It could have been even the enemy's fate. But unfortunately, Ninja, he was taken down by Team Resurrection itself, and CLUTZA, they was just standing there looking for, oh wait, that was ours. What just happened here?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just love every bit of what's happening out here. What I'm even more happier is how things are turning out in this game.
Oh, look at the way Graveyard. It was contested by so many teams, but at the end,
it was literally a graveyard.
It's about the power, right? It's about the raw gun skill, which Resurrection, they just showcased 2 circles, back-to-back 7s. Thala for a reason.
Hey, man, Let's look at the overall standing, man. I have nothing to say about after that.
Oh,
79
not at all
points.
dethroned. Oh.
Yeah, 79 points on the top. It's going to be OG retaining their position as Resurrection get their first booyah, and they come up to the second position as they climb just one position. CLUTZA is right below them, and after which we see that the numbers are not even half of that of OGxTSG. 47 for Rakers, SMR 39 as they drop down. We have Team Chaos slowly climbing up. 4 a.m. They're also able to find a footing in this lobby. After this, every other team who get eliminated early is going to fall down from the 6th position.
Oh, yeah. Intense Quake, Flawless, DESI Esports, they haven't changed their position whatsoever. It's high time. Guys,
Yeah.
it is high time. This is the third game already done and dusted, and still the positions haven't changed. So top 6 is where you have to head towards, else the qualification is not going to be there. Group stages are going to be even more tough, so buckle up. Final 3 maps, and that's where you guys have to perform. So Arca, I'm actually concerned for them.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. But ladies and gentlemen, do let us know which are the teams you're vouching for, because they need to get some points. If you're in the top, then you're safe. But again, go share it among your friends. You know how the ritual is, right? In few seconds, we'll be heading into a short break. So share it among your friends. Make sure they all come in here to enjoy as we get into the break. See you guys on the other side, where 2 more casters will be joining in.
One easy. Welcome back to TEZ FFMIC 2026 Fall Plains. The first half has already given us plenty to talk about, but these 3 matches are still left out where, the race for the coveted qualification spots are still left out. My name is Zoro. With me, joining on my side is Lucifer. Today's lobby is packed with experience, fresh rosters, and plenty of expectations. So let's see who steps up when it matters the most.
Right now, stepping up seems to be iQOO, OGxTSG, but right behind them, hot on their tail, is Resurrection. Now, that is great to see because a lot of familiar names and faces, and they've been delivering blows. Unlike yesterday's start, right? Nebula did not have the best, and when you go back to day 2, Arise did not even qualify. So at least for the fans out there who love to see their favorite players performing like this, they'll be happy about it. But there are some more players that were waiting for this opportunity, now stepping up on these stairs to forge their legacy.
Yeah, actually, this feels like Group A kind of a performance where the teams are feeling like top heavy. If you look at the scoreboard right now, iQOO, OGxTSG, they have already almost confirmed their qualification, which I feel because they have already got 2 booyahs, right? And if you get, 79 points in 3 games, you can expect fireworks, and they're already delivering it, right? And you are just left out with the rest 4 slots or the 5 slots which are left out. So let's see how that pans out, because CLUTZA, they are also doing well alongside Rakers and Team SMR, because all these teams who have come in through the city qualifiers, they're actually showing up well.
Everybody has to, but right as now, let's see what our predictions say. While you can also put it up in the chat and let us know. And we both have CLUTZA as well as Resurrection along with iQOO, OGxTSG. It's just the numbering from 1 to 3 that's different between us, because hey, that's what so far has been happening, and one after another every team has been doing well, but these are the top heavy teams. And you were mentioning, Oro, that hey, we look like we are at a run similar to what happened in Group A, top heavy ended game here in Group D as well. So far that's been the case. 3 games are done, 3 more left, and I'm worried if the teams at the bottom, especially at 5, 6, 7 and 8, miss out by not just 1 but maybe 5, 6 or maybe even 10 points. So I hope teams start coping up, because now the maps, they start speeding up.
The recovery has to start from Solara, and knowing the fact that Solara is an aggressive map, you can get those, high number of elimination and rack up your scoreline in the leaderboard, and that is something which would be required from all these teams which you spoke about. They are at the bottom right now. Speaking of Team Chaos, 4AM or SKYLORD Esports, who have that opportunity to still make it to the top 6. And look at TV Tower. I don't believe it right now, because I see Bloomtown and Casa Vista as open, and also Delta Isle. These are 3-4 spots which we always see teams going there, and some teams are going to obviously go there, and there are going to be early clashes. But where are those clashes going to be? Is it going to be according to the preferred drop spots, or we'll see some surprises?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be surprises all across the board, Oro. Because, hey, teams know that they're trying to sell a fake for not just us here on the desk or the viewers out there, but even the other teams. They can anticipate that there could be a clash right at the hot drops, but generally, because there is a lot of survival now being involved, as we've already done with half of the games for today, and half of their games that they need to qualify. They understand heading into game number 4 with less than 3 seconds, the flight about to take off, they will need to hold on to their horses to figure out the best way to acquire as many points as possible. And especially with the teams being top heavy, they have to figure out what's the approach here in Solara. Is it going to be studio, put up a show, or is it going to be completely at a different spot where you don't have to be worried teams getting closer? Delta Isle generally a little bit of a hot spot. Not sure if that's going to be the same case in this lobby.
Yep, let's have a look. We have to see the plane path for sure, because that's where you get a better idea that where the circle is going to turn out. But right now, it is looking quite centric, a little skewed towards the southern end, where TV Tower is kind of the center of this plane path, but the 2 ends are Hub and the Bayside, and as expected, TV Tower is not at all clustered, while it is empty, Sam, where, in the preferred drop spot, it was said to be that 4 or 5 teams were jumping in that spot.
Yeah, surprised to see that, but Funfair becoming right now hotspot for a lot of tickets for a joyride maybe. But Team iQOO, OGxTSG, nothing much to be worried about. An empty Delta Isle for them to grab up their armory, get them ready for the next fights. But in tandem, we ended up seeing Resurrection already picking up their very first, along with Team Chaos as well, pushing DESI to get their players back up in action.
I'm so happy to see all these teams back in the lobby, these known faces, these experienced campaigners, but the expectations are still there with them and they're delivering today. CLUTZA Shub is the one who finds the first elimination for CLUTZA. And wait, what? Team iQOO already got eliminated? I mean, this is a little surprise when you have so many options of getting revived back into the lobby. I'm sure one player would have missed out the memo. But right now it is SEA who are fighting against Team SMR.
SMR, let's see if they'll be able to hold it out. But Drakers as well, it seems like they are picking eliminations. 4 AM in trouble in the chaos of SMR. We spoke about DESI Esports, they did bring back their players, but right now fight against Drakers, it seems like Shobit gets taken down. His teammate Mysterious will put Freck down. That Max 7 coming into action, bringing back Shobit also up in the same time, and having a total of 3 eliminations. They will be able to hold this Bolt Maker in control.
Yeah, this is a solid looking roster, right? So is Team Chaos, where we see, as I was speaking, there was one member spotted out and taken down as well. It is SEA Sad who eliminated him with the squad. Right now, SEA, they spotted Dhruva from SMR, and his position is known with that UMP. That's a little ambitious in that range. You need a better weaponry, but you have no other option. You have to close in the distance, and Dhruva, he needs to run away or have to find a spot for himself. But he is fighting back right now, and this is going to be a little difficult because utilities are coming in, Lucifer. And he dashes in. This is Sad with that Max 10. He finds him one elimination, actually the third one for him. And a good start for SEA.
SEA Esports, they know why they're fighting this way is because they need to enter the top 6. The difference between them and SMR, as you can already see, is almost around 20 plus points. So if they need to get there, they need a lot of points. And right now, CLUTZA, they don't have that trouble, but the challenge coming in from the opponent team, Flawless Esports, they are sitting at almost the bottom, if not for iQOO. Therefore, CLUTZA going in for a challenge against them, not the right bet or the play to make, and CLUTZA instantly wiped them out. 4 eliminations in total for just one player and 6 in total for CLUTZA as a whole.
Yeah, we were talking about Rakers, Anshu Jr. and Kid being a part of, Kid Team Legacy's roster. We saw them in TEZ FFMIC 2026 spring. They were good then, but they could not make it to the knockout stages. But this time around, they hope so, that they're prepared much more than the last time. But let's see. They're pushing in right now. 4 AM par. Obviously would put in the glue wall. He has backup. Gyro there. Mysterious. He immediately uses the time turner. But look at Gyro. He's already taken down Rakers. Kid has already been taken. One trade has to come by. Thiva helps him to get the revival quickly. But Mysterious falls again. This is not looking the way, the correct outcome which was expected from Rakers' end. They have to probably fall back, and I don't see any players following up.
Yeah, I was surprised of them just trying to slide back and forth on the rail. While they knew the player was right in front, but the challenge was them being protected with the glue wall and not ready for the fight. And seems like somewhere in the mix, Sick gets eliminated. Nothing anywhere close to where the 4 AM players just picked up the players of Rakers, so not much to be worried about, just one elimination given away. On the other end, SEA Esports, we were talking about them, they need a lot, and right now it seems like a sea of 5 eliminations in total is what they've managed to pick up. Something not same for DESI Esports, it's only one. We've been just seeing them suffering losses, reviving their teammates, and now they have an opportunity to fight, and right now in front of them, maybe this is the opportunity as they try to pick on SKYLORDs.
DESI Esports right now, locking horns, but not interested in that way to, engage into this fight. But SEA, they have showcased that they want to fight, and as you clearly told that there's a 20-pointer difference between them and SMR, so they need those elimination numbers, and Solara is the perfect way to start because you still are left out with 2 more games after this. And after this game is done, managing that buffer is going to be very, very difficult if you look at the placements as well.
Placing themselves better is SMR, instantly taking the slide rails, dodging all the bullets, and SEA, that was unfortunate. So many shots missed, and now DVG, he gives away his position as his teammates had made it all across. Still in trouble because 2 of the players are honing their crosshairs. None of them connecting. What happened here? SEA Esports, 5 eliminations, but all of these shots on even a single player being missed. That is a giveaway for SMR to make a quick run. However, nothing being sought after, as DESI Esports, even after all their turbulent efforts, they still get swept out as the second team here in Solara.
Yeah. Rickers, they have 4 eliminations already, but SMR Dhruva, he has been the POC right now for SMR. We have seen him fight, but right now he's again alone. Can get caught off guard, but this time he manages to take down with that launcher. Was Gyro. But look at Sick, he also gets eliminated, and it's a difficult situation for Team 4AM. And here comes the backup from Team SMR. It's DVG with that M590. He gets one more elimination, and SMR, immediately jumps onto 5 elimination points. And this is what we expected from Team SMR to fight back.
1v1, Dhruva and Default, and DVG right at the nick of time helps him out. And that is going to be an end for Default as well for 4 AM, but it's not the end of the race, because Default, before going down, he did revive the whole squad. So 4 AM, they cannot jump in the same position. They would have to move in a complete different direction. The circle also has taken a chip towards where 4 AM were at Windmill. Thankfully, SMR will be happy. However, SEA Esports, they are also happy, as Team Chaos, they are unable to right now put down the players, and they're the ones losing. However, quick confirmation coming in, and that is going to be a okay one for Armo, but nothing much left, as he also instantly gets traded out. So SEA, they might have dabbled with giving 1 elimination away. Nothing much to be lost or being sad about, because they have in total 4 eliminations, which they just got more, and total of 8 to Mayday.
See, Ninja is still surviving for Team Chaos, so as long as he's surviving, immediately he gets the opportunity to bring back Armo there. So one by one, I would expect Team Chaos players, members to join back the lobby, but they're very close by Team iQOO, OGxTSG, who have decimated the lobby today with 2 booyahs already, probably finding the 3rd one. I'm sure they would want to replicate what Team Lead did, or would love to set their own record, because in 6 games, if you're able to pull out something close to 150, TSG would be happy to do it. But I think at this very moment, they have to fight against SEA to do that, make it successful. And SEA have made it very solid and clear that they want those elimination points.
Yeah, they're trying to climb up, and seems like Solara is working out for them. iQOO, TSG, they've held their fort right as of now, and they are able to at least hold off SEA from attacking in their forefront approach. Ayush ready, he spotted the players, call being given, and now they want to make a quick jump to it. Steffi being used, and right now I want to see if it's going to work out. And there is the opening. That's what they wanted. All the players down. Quick on the reviver, SEA Esports, but is it going to work out? As close up and personal. Ayush ready, FGL being used, and even Ronin together, and Krish coming in. 3 of the players down, only 1 who made it across, while the entire 3 players confirmation works for iQOO, OGxTSG.
iQOO, OGxTSG, Lucifer, they have always been the team who has been mechanically gifted, but they have always lacked on the direction part. And with Ronit coming in, that part is looking so solid. Even though this is still day 1, and this is still the playing stage, people would say that please, everybody would want to hold on to their horses, because they still have to prove a lot. And there are some active changes on this roster, even though they still made it to LAN last time. But, iQOO, OGxTSG fans, we all know that they are always hard on them. They are always being criticized for something they do in the lobby. But let's see how it turns out. Right now, it's going good for them. But this is Resurrection fighting against a team. Wait, this is SEA? And it is Fiasco who's out in the open, and he gets taken down. Is it a squad wipe? Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah. While they did find 1 player from Team Chaos, they did not know that the other player was from a completely different team, and even the last survivor. And SEA Esports, even after finding 8 eliminations, unfortunate, get eliminated at the 10th spot. So therefore, they just get almost nothing, if you would want to talk about it, other than elimination, placement points. Not much for them to brag about. And iQOO, OGxTSG, it is kudos to them that they made that happen. And it seems like similar fate for SKYLORD Esports. They thought they were running towards a safe haven at Riders Club, but they get entered towards the Flawless Esports' control. Flawless Riders now keeping control at this position, holding and even reviving the teammate quickly. They will have to be worried that they're playing outside the circle. So for them to make an entry, and if there is another team in their approach while they're at the bottom of the charts, they need to acquire a lot more. It's only 5 eliminations they've gotten, even after taking down 2 of the players.
Yep. You know, we have always seen teams facing problems with eliminations or either with survival game. But this time around for Flawless, it's the elimination part, which is where they are lacking right now. They would want to take more fights where they would get the confidence back. But right now, the confidence isn't the issue for Team iQOO, OGxTSG, and so is for Team Chaos. Oh, wait, Abhinav, how did he land up here? It is a different team. That's SKYLORD Esports, and they get sandwiched in the meanwhile. But Kishu gets caught off guard. What was he trying to do? Using that vending machine, probably shopping going on. But that was not the case. What iQOO, OGxTSG are in the mood to do. Scary, he's running away as he should because he's the last man. And if he gets taken down, I feel that this is going to be an end for Team Chaos because he has no way to run away from this spot, Lucifer.
Not the best spot to be at, and he will be found by Arjun. That is the end for Team Chaos, and they ended up at the 6th spot. Now 4 AM is on the chase. They'll be happy that this happened. They acquired 7 eliminations. The difference right now still stands at around 5 points. But 4 AM, as long as they survive, find some more eliminations or maybe placement points for themselves, they should be able to make it across. And right now, Rakers, they don't have much to be worried, but they soon might be in trouble. And there it is. That's going to be Ziyan. We just saw how Resurrection pulled off a booyah, and now Ziyan is just popping off. 2 of the players down. Thankfully to the chrono. Quick on the revive, and they will be safe for the time being. Resurrection, that was a little too much for Rakers to bear on.
Wow, I mean, Rakers, Resurrection, iQOO, OGxTSG, CLUTZA, it's the bigger name. The teams with the experienced players are still surviving. It feels like the newbies against the bigger names. Where iQOO, OGxTSG are dominating right now with 17 already. In the meanwhile, SKYLORD Esports gets eliminated and CLUTZA, they're on a roll as well.
CLUTZA, while they are on a roll, 10 eliminations in total, but right as now, iQOO, OGxTSG, they are at 17. If you talk about somebody on a roll, they're the roller coasters of this game.
Yeah.
And game number 4, it seems like what they wanted to make a back-to-back to back-to-back, which got stalled by Resurrection. They might be able to pull it off here in Solara. SMR right in front of them. Ronit did send off a shot and even an answer back, but right now a charge in Ayush, closing the distance with his teammate Krish up front, but receives a lot of damage. Sanket trying to hold off a quick dash coming in from DVG, and he knocks, gets the elimination on Krish. That was brilliant. Instantly right now wounding the side of iQOO, OGxTSG in terms of numbers, and DVG, what a dash that was, almost in midair, then crashing down towards Krish. But right now, even them losing a player a little hot on that hit was SMR. They should have slowed it down, but rather decided to charge, thinking they have the complete advantage against iQOO, OGxTSG. They get taken down. It's down to the last 2 players.
But it is Arjun who's causing the problems right now, Lucifer. It's for 4 AM. Parth is already taken down. Default trying to heal himself, but as he shows his face, it's going to be problems. And look at Ronit with that Winchester. He's also creating problem, but he gets taken down with the play zone. Default, he still manages to crawl inside the circle. But look at Ayush, he uses the railroads to close in the distance. He literally jumps in with the M590 onto 4 AM. He goes, puts in the glue wall, creates a distance for himself, but Ayush is there to support him for now.
Ayush, can he do it? Unfortunate. There's been shots taken. Ayush gets knocked. However, his teammate is close by Ronit. A shoulder that they can believe on. As 4 AM, they don't have the numbers, and Sik gets taken down. Confirmation going for Ayush. He was the one who was knocked, but he's back up on his feet and is already firing. 21 in total elimination. Gyro up close, but what can he do? On one end, there is another team completely eyeing on him, and now his numbers not that great. A 1v2 situation, tries to isolate the duel, but Ronit instantly with the glue wall. Backs off Gyro, not for long, as Ayush back with his M590, puts him down, and 4 AM are out, down to our top 4 teams now.
Wait, what was Shubh doing there? I thought he should have been the best man who was spectating the fight all along. He could have third party, which he's doing right now with that M249 going berserk. Will he be able to find one knock? But it is Ziyan who is doing the damage for Resurrection. He is confirming those elimination, and there goes iQOO, OGxTSG once again denied by Resurrection. It's a 1v4 for Shubh, and look at Siddharth going crazy with that grenade launcher. He wants to knock himself, but it is Ziyan who steals it and says, let me get one more for myself, and it is Resurrection with back-to-back booyahs, Lucifer.
Resurrection Brilliant stuff. They're just telling it's not only iQOO, OGxTSG. They might have been the invited squad, but we are not going to let them just walk away, run away with opportunities. We will also put our foot down, get these eliminations, get a booyah for ourselves, and also show everybody that there is another team to dominate in the lobby. And therefore, we called it in our game number 4 start that this is going to be very top heavy. Let's take a look at the last shot. It started with we watching CLUTZA as well as Rakers, and Rakers did have the numbers, but unfortunately look at Shubh all alone just sighting across, and thanks to the help of Ziyan as always being a menace with that sniper. You did see Ayush also try his best, but the numbers not that great on iQOO, OGxTSG, and then Resurrection in all directions that they spotted the opponents took all of them down.
I mean, Resurrection Esports, the name couldn't be more fitting, Lucifer. Players who once carried different banners have now united under one. They're not rebuilding careers, they're rebuilding expectations, and they're doing it so well. Dafiq, you know, the way he has grown, the way he has shown maturity in this lobby and today's, 4 games is immense, right? Look at Siddharth. There are 2 snipers in the lobby. Siddharth is also known as one of the good snipers in the community, and they join hands together, and that gives them more firepower, and that is why the bigger numbers are being cranked up by these players. And there goes Ziyan with 8 elimination. Imagine Dafiq being in the lobby and Ziyan is getting 8 elimination. It's just giving Dafiq that space to grow more.
I really like how this team is coming together. While we are seeing the rushers on one end, yes, they're doing the job, but the snipers doing the heavy lifting, as you already mentioned about Siddharth. Ziyan going way big, as you can see, MVP, 5,732 damage coming in from his end. He is making it seem like it's a piece of cake, a cakewalk for him right as now, but nonetheless we know how intense it was, how controlling he has been with the menace of a sniper with the AWM. We saw his shots coming too. SKYLORD Riptide Rhythm being used along with that Moko, Luna and Maro, and all his hits one after another through his opponents, getting the eliminations.
Yeah, beautiful from Ziyan, and that too in consecutive games. He definitely is showing up for his team and is creating immense value right now. Resurrection, at this point, they have got, of course, 28 points from this game, even though they got the booyah. But iQOO, OGxTSG, they had the higher number of elimination, and we have seen it, every time a team who scores 20 plus elimination, they are the ones, who get to that top spot. And this time it is again iQOO, OGxTSG. Imagine, Sam, I already told you after the 3 games that iQOO, OGxTSG was sitting with 79 points. Add more 30 points to it, so they've already crossed the 100-pointer in 4 games.
If this keeps happening, while the right now highest score sits at 142 total points, Oro, I am worried where we'll end up once game 6 is done. And these added points you mentioned, yes, we are already at 100 plus points. You will eventually see the today's standings as well, which will give you an idea. But the teams who missed the opportunity almost look like they could have an opportunity, pick up a lot in terms of eliminations, was SCA Esports. We spoke about it, getting eliminated at the 10th spot, just getting 1 placement point. I was too sad for them, because 8, they have 2 more eliminations from anybody else in the bottom, and those 2 eliminations are big. When you just think about yesterday, teams got left out because there was a miss of a single or double points in their standings.
Yeah. I remember, you're definitely talking about Rise Esports. They could not qualify because of that 1 point. So hopeful that today we do not end up seeing something like that. And for that not to happen, these players have to be very accurate about their rotations. Because, iQOO, OGxTSG, we know that they did not end up landing, towards the extreme northeastern side of the map where the circle ended. It was towards Funfair. But the way they rotated inside the circle and ended up getting those eliminations, it was very clear for them that they are not fighting for the booyah. If you saw them in the last fight, they were pretty much going YOLO against all the teams out there, because they knew that eventually they're going to fall. It was going to be Resurrection's game because they had the better edge and the better angle, and they ended up converting it, and they got those eliminations, which gave them that extra edge again. And there you go. It's 109 for iQOO, OGxTSG already, Lucifer.
109, 102 for Resurrection. CLUTZA, they are far behind, but not too much to be worried about because
Yeah.
this is not a chase towards either the top 3 or you getting a podium in terms of the prize money. The prize money is still a little bit far in terms of reach. Rakers at 57 points, that's the biggest in terms of a leap. 33 in difference along with Team SMR, and then coming in is Team Chaos, who are almost at a difference of 60 if you count the team at the top. However, 4am, they'll be happy that they're at only 1 point difference because they are the only closest team right as now at the end of game 4. But SKYLORD, SEA, Flawless, they better start raking up points because from their position at 34 points, they have a difference of 15, and then you quickly jump into every team is at 20 points. So they are at a difference of at least 20 plus points. This tells us the lobby is getting tougher if the top teams keep taking away the points. SCA, even after getting 8 eliminations, how much did they acquire on placement? Just 1, making it a total of 9 points. So that movement is not going to be enough to make a quick jump. Just an example, even though Nebula is an invited team, but because of their big games that they ended up starting at game number 2, game number 3, they managed to get back into the top 6 comfortably. But for these teams, because right now we are not talking about game 2 or game 3, it is game 4. Next is game 5. Game 4 done, all your mistakes done. Now game 5 and game 6, the last two, and especially a biggest hurdle at game 6 is you don't know which game you're stepping into. So you better buck up and get ready on next era.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I completely agree with what you said right now, Lucifer, because, you know, these bottom 4 teams, they have to do a heavy lifting right now because they have to get those bigger numbers. They have to fight it out with teams, and that is not going to get easy with next era coming in and with the randomizer being there on the 6th map. We don't know that what is the map going to come up. You know, if they are going to fight on Bermuda, probably some are going to be happy, some are going to be unhappy. They would have wanted Kalahari or Solara, but that's not the case here. The only thing is that they need those elimination points, and I'm sure that Booyahs are not going to save them. They need elimination with Booyahs so that they crank up the number to a 25 plus or 30 plus, to be honest. Otherwise, it's going to be GG's for them because they're not going to be able to qualify for the group stages. Right now, the preferred drop spots, just like last time, we saw that TV Tower was left out empty. I don't think Farmtopia is going to be left out empty. Grave Labs, there's only one team going there. That's Resurrection. Let's see how that turns out because Resurrection is a red hot team right now with 2 back-to-back Booyahs, as is Team iQOO, OGxTSG.
And with that, let's see where we predict the teams to be at. Let's take a look at the top 3. You have Rakers, Team Chaos, and CLUTZA. I've gone in for again blindly. It has to happen. iQOO, TSG, and Resurrection. But I bring back Rakers. Rakers were again close. I'm looking at them making an impact a lot more. Maybe they're Booyah. But looking at the pattern, Oro, I am worried. Because if you see entirely, it's iQOO, TSG. It is Resurrection. iQOO, TSG, Resurrection. So if these two teams itself keep getting the Booyahs, as you mentioned, if there is no balance between a closer Booyah, rather because I'm talking about them getting the Booyahs and these teams missing it out, I am worried. But we are jumping into next era, which we have known in the Free Fire Max circuit to give you a lot of points because teams keep reviving one after another. They don't let go of this map. So this is your best opportunity, and you can see already teams, so many of them taking an early drop already from Intellect Center, and this could cause drop clashes as well. It's only 4 AM that I see safe and sound, and iQOO once again seem like they might be in trouble, and SMR are the ones. They are also looking good, and they've fought. They want to stay in the top 6, and if they fight with iQOO, they might be able to make it.
All I can say is more revival is equal to more points for the top lifters, but let's see if that happens again because I don't see any drop clashes. Oh my god, this is a little surprising right now. Even though there are few shots being exchanged, wait, there is a gunfight, and this is between iQOO, OGxTSG and Team SEA.
Mid-air.
Oh my goodness, they're literally revolving, and that gets immediately picked off with that Uzi. And Ayush goes berserk with that mini Uzi, and he gets one more. This is not the ideal start they wanted. SEA, Saksham, he fights back, but for how long is the question, Lucifer?
He's the one of the last ones standing and make it the last man standing, and I think the last player did already cut this fight, make a run. However, iQOO, TSG, Arjun seems like he might have a hint of where that player tended, especially with knowing where the vending machine is. Did use the binoculars, and it seems like maybe he just got a hint, slight nudge of the player, but maybe he got away from the radius. And now iQOO, TSG, from an opportunity where they could have wiped out the team, SCA have a breath of relief, have a breath of survival, but for how long? Same is the trouble for iQOO. they suffered at the previous game without anything. They were out as soon as we landed, seeing every team.
Yeah.
They were not even in the ground.
Correct.
And right now it could be trouble, but it seems like somebody is going to be a savior, as 4 AM have jumped in and SMR have another distraction or attention to pay to. And it's Sanket going down, meaning SMR, they better buck up or they're going to lose their players who are all outside.
4 AM, they're right on the rooftop. They have the better in terms of the higher ground. They can definitely put you under pressure. Oh wait, Cairo, while he jumps down, he gets taken down. But immediately brings him back. But SMR, they are inside the compound. They come out, uses the chrono shield and immediately retaliates. 4 AM, there's still a player to be taken out. Sick goes down, but look at the way players are dealing with the situation. It is the player who's still sitting on the rooftop who's creating the problems. But we are at this moment towards Zipway, where Rakers are. That fight between SKYLORD, Esports and Team Chaos, that is happening in a different direction. But I just hope that, teams are not getting eliminated so early in the game, Lucifer.
Yeah, nobody is. Teams are trying to take them out, but it's not happening yet. We spoke about it. Next Era is a map where everybody will get their players back up. They will try their best, and especially it right now playing out at game number 5, meaning every team understands that they are so close to survive and make it to the top 6 or so close to elimination as well. It is either way threat and an adrenaline rush that they're trying to make use of. Rakers, in the meantime, we already saw them there jumping across. SC again in another trouble. Somehow they fended off the fight previously, but wait, what happened? SKYLORD, they get picked off and they're the very first team. I did not think that this will happen. However, Kid, his approach also same, but he did not pay attention to a player who was close by. However, with the shots taken, he will give that information to his teammates and moves in the other direction as the players of SEA Esports climb down. He also slowly tending towards the floor and now getting ready for action.
Kid with the maximum in his hand. Why did he suddenly decide to run away? Because he was completely the one who put up that glue wall and tried to engage in that situation. Right now, Sad, he has that charge buster, puts in the glue wall, but Chobit, he needs a breather. But will he get that breather is the question. No, is the answer. Anshu, he needs a diversion. He has to be the one. But look at Fiasco, he's already on a flank. The question is, Anshu, does he know his positioning? Wait, he gets picked off by iQOO, OGxTSG, and that is Ayush from the longer range. Picks him off, catches him off guard, and immediately finishes him. And the focus shifts onto Anshu Jr., Lucifer.
Anshu Jr. in trouble. However, he has a track. He will make a run out of there. Kid, however, he thought he could be jumping back in the same spot and be safe. SEA Esports, they don't know that is iQOO OGxTSG that is trying to take a shots at. So SEA, after winning it, they'll be happy. Arjun almost getting Kid knocked out. M82B not sealing the fate of Kid as of now. However, Ronit has the call, and there it is. Krish finally with the quad knocks and gets the confirmation as well. SEA Esports are wondering, wait, we just had one team we were fighting with. Who's the other? Who made an entry here now? SEA Esports, they're making a run. Boltmaker being called. iQOO OGxTSG. There's been a little bit of a wound. Krish has to patch himself, and that is the call. They decide to back off rather than take this approach in the Boltmaker and maybe be hurt by it.
Look at the vicinity. I mean, Lucifer, 4 AM is surrounding. But iQOO OGxTSG, they're prepared for them as well. This team is handling 2 teams at a time. And they're doing and managing it so well right now. iQOO OGxTSG. We know that Ronit has ended up in this team, in this lineup for sure. But, it has shown a lot of difference already. And they are falling back from the situation, which is the ideal call. Again, which brings me back to the point that the decision making is looking so confident and there's no questioning whatsoever. And they are actually jumping onto 4 AM.
It was an approach. They knew that playing from a downhill position will not work out. And now in mid-air, Ayush, he picks him off. What are those shots now? 4 AM in trouble. While they thought that nobody is surrounding them, that's iQOO OGxTSG. You can never expect of what they are trying to do. And now, out of the blue, they are losing players. And more is the chase coming in. But CLUTZA, they're here. They become a surprise for iQOO OGxTSG. One of the players getting knocked. And Ayush now instantly has to back off because Krish is bleeding out. And I think that is going to be a little unfortunate. He will not have an opportunity to revive. And Krish's confirmation will go to Klaus. And now Klaus, he's closing the distance with the max 7, and hurt is Ayush, and he will also get picked off. Confirmation one after another. Now CLUTZA, they get a total of 10 elimination for themselves as they surround iQOO OGxTSG and push them back.
Whatever these guys are doing, they need to wrap it up quickly because Flawless are circling, Chaos are circling. This has turned out to be a party spot for all the teams out there who want points right now. Chaos, they are not in the top 6, they are in the race. Flawless, they're also right at the bottom and they also need points. They also need those elimination game going in for them. That confidence is required. In the meanwhile, iQOO OGxTSG got completely eliminated out of the lobby. This is the very first game they have got eliminated, so early, and this has turned out to be a shocker for us. But Bully, he gets taken down, but Kaushik brings the fight back to Flawless. He has a different angle altogether. With that SKS, he's controlling a lot, and definitely his position is going to be crucial. If he gets taken down, CLUTZA's hold is going to be a little weaker, Lucifer.
Crucial, his position as you mentioned. But right as now CLUTZA have surrounded. Wait, what a shot! Kishu! That is from a different position. It's another third party happening.
Yep.
One after another. This position has seen multiple third parties. iQOO OGxTSG thought they were on top of it, but it did not work out. Armo closing the distance. Shub doing the damage. Bully helping out, and Armo is done. However, his teammates so close, multiple in numbers, and they quickly revive him. Shub, can he change this chrono being used to avoid the shots? But the shots are not stopping coming in, especially because of the distance. Ninja trying his best to provide cover fire, but CLUTZA are spread so far apart that Team Chaos, even if they want to continue this fight, they cannot, and slowly now they are backing off, giving CLUTZA the space to get back into Zipway.
Yep, I don't think Team Chaos wants to engage anymore because the players are clustered. They are more interested in looting for sure. If players are getting revived back, I'm 100% sure that they would require those loot. But there's a different fight happening. This is SMR going against Resurrection. The Feek gets his second elimination. And in no time, Resurrection is back again with 8 eliminations. Did you see them doing it? The answer should be no, but they have done it again and they are charging onto SMR, and probably they might end up fighting Team iQOO as well.
At least this is a good game for the teams at the bottom because except for iQOO OGxTSG, mainly iQOO OGxTSG have been taken down. Resurrection are now trying to pick up eliminations. They just get one more. And these are some stragglers who unfortunately got left out, and now look at this. DESI Esports' Vedant gets a monster truck driven over him, loses half of his HP, more than half, and now Siddharth with the max 7 so close that he can't do anything. He did not have the right weapon on hand. He couldn't even closely aim. That's how difficult it got for DESI Esports, and more trouble now striking because Rakers have them surrounded. However, Mysterious goes down, and Freck, he doubles down, puts Shobit as well, and Kid, while he was trying to get one, he finally hits Freck as well. Just jumps in with one final hit on the M590. Puts the end for DESI Esports. I thought Freck almost brought it back for the side, but it was not enough. Unfortunate. Rakers, however, keep it flying and get those points.
The number game was always against him, even though the hope was real, Lucifer. I feel it, and I feel for DESI Esports. But right now, Resurrection, they have intruders, and it is Team Chaos. Wait, Obito is the solo survivor for Team SMR, and he's spotted. No, he's not the solo survivor. He was one of the survivors from Team SMR. He gets picked off, and immediately one elimination point converted, and DVG, he also get eliminated. He gets spotted by Team Resurrection. This isn't looking that great for Team SMR because they're getting picked off individually, and these solo fights are never going to help you as a team.
The eastern side of Nextera has seen so many fights, bolt makers, teams being eliminated. And it seems like players are still sticking here, as you can see at the edge of mud side. Nice shot coming in from Siddharth. This is why when you have snipers who are already deadly, and on top of it, it ends up being dual snipers in a team. You can see Siddharth just got a knock and elimination, whereas Zian has the most damage, 3,100. Remember the previous game? He's already sitting at 5,000 as an MVP of the previous game, and now already at 3,000. If it continues with still 7 teams surviving, 8th being them, it could be a lot more that Zian can find. But right now, it's the Feek. It seems like these eliminations are getting shared. They are now getting a little bit of a jealous within the team rivalry. It's good for their health because it keeps every team, every player at a tiptoe, and they're doing the damage. However, Team Chaos trying to take those eliminations as an advantage, trying to take those points away from them because they are right now at the 6th spot. 4M who have got eliminated. It seems like Team Chaos want to solidify their position at the 6th spot. Make sure going into game number 6 they're at a better spot. Flawless Esports, they're the closest after 4 AM going down. 11 in total eliminations, but now they have a charge coming in from from SEA, who want the same thing, is get to the top 6, and this time a little slow, but still SEA keep firing.
Yeah, 3 teams were fighting in Boxing Gym. The fight still continues. Ayan is the one from Team iQOO who cleans up those players. The knocked out players are still left out. Fiasco is eliminated, which leaves out with Sad and Bablu, the 2 players who are surviving. I don't think Sad will be able to survive for long. Aimbot is the one who will eliminate him. The last man standing for Team SEA. He has left this building. For sure, he would require those players to be brought back. Otherwise, it would be end for Team SEA. In the last game, I still remember, Lucifer, they got 8 eliminations. They were looking solid, but they ended up getting 1 survival point. And that is something which you do not require at this, leaderboard, because the top teams are still delivering. Even though iQOO, OGxTSG have got eliminated, but CLUTZA, Rakers and Resurrection, they're still building those numbers.
Numbers by the top teams every time. SMR has gotten a full squad revive. This is what troubles. While I was talking about the teams at the bottom, this is their best opportunity with iQOO, OGxTSG going down, and Resurrection not yet doing a lot of eliminations. They should have been the ones taking it away. But now the teams at the bottom fighting amongst themselves gives an opportunity. It seems like Team SMR, who just got revived, ended up being birds in midair, all of them being picked out. CLUTZA, they have their opportunity, making a jump right towards Team Chaos. And nice eye coming in from Bully in case somebody steps out from Team Chaos. And there, look at Kaushik, how bold, right in front of his enemy's line. Was using the stealth bite, so therefore he survives. Still has the M1887. Klaus has closed the distance, had a charge buster as well. There, Ninja, he's been taken down. That's Bully from afar. That is the reason they hold Bully. But Amo, he comes in, takes Kaushik down, and Shub trying to protect.
Resurrection, they have managed to defend the spot, and CLUTZA, they're only surviving with a solo player. Wait, did he get taken down as well? I think so. He has also... No, wait, he has not been eliminated yet. It's Willy who's the last man surviving. He's spotted by Xian with that VSK94. He's waiting for that glue wall to break off. But Team Chaos is also closer to Bully, who can take him down immediately. But Team Chaos, they have to deal with Team iQOO right now. 3 versus 4. This is a number disadvantage for iQOO, but look at the numbers. They have the confidence. 15 eliminations already raked up. Kishu and Armo, they are stuck in the corner, and Resurrection decide to push in as well. This is total chaos, and Tafiq and something immediately shuts down Team Chaos, Lucifer.
I don't know how Team Chaos still made it there, but now Resurrection is there. They're not going to let anybody revive each other. They won this lobby. 21 total eliminations, but Siddharth gets lost. That's going to be iQOO. iQOO, I don't know how they managed to make it this far. They were the ones to get eliminated very first. It's a 3v3 fight now. Up and forefront. Something has spotted them. Ayan, the glue wall being destroyed, and now Solo's out. That's Xian helping out. However, Ayan and Aimbot, they find one needs something, and the Fig both down. It's all up to Xian from afar. Aimbot picking these eliminations, making it even more worse for Resurrection. Now Xian is left all alone. Bablu is left all alone. And Aimbot, a 1v1v1 situation for this final fight.
It's a 3-way Mexican standoff, but with Solo survivors, Lucifer. Aimbot for iQOO. Resurrection has Xian and Bablu for SEA. The question is, Bablu is not looking to engage in this spot. He has a good spot, but look at Xian. He wants to play out with the information game. Bablu is sitting inside that arsenal. He's waiting, and the circle is moving in the opposite direction. It is Bablu who can deal with this situation perfectly. The Riptide Rhythm being used already. Xian is already causing a lot of problem. The only issue is Xian is only left out with 8 glue walls, and I don't think that 8 glue walls is going to help him. He would require a lot more than that.
But his opponents also need a lot more. As you can see, Aimbot, had a vehicle. Quick on the pickup truck, instant boost, and now getting in. And Xian will not let him. He will not spare his life. What was those shots coming in? 10 in total. And iQOO, who made it so far, will only be getting the 3rd spot. Still better than what they got in the last one. They need a lot more points, but what does Bablu do? You mentioned about Xian having only 8. Now it's come down to the 5 glue walls. Make it 7 he ended up getting. And now Bablu, the last one, he is making a jump, trying to get closer. I think he wants a close combat. Nice nade being tossed, using a Riptide Rhythm as well, but it's not working out. Finally coming in, closing the distance, using the shots, and the Mac 10 do the job for SEA Esports. And they get the booyah. What a play coming in from Bablu. He knew his advantage, went for the CQC, and pulls off a booyah, takes it away from all the top teams in the standings.
This has happened for the second time that, a team has been denied a hat-trick, Lucifer. First it was iQOO, OGxTSG, and now it is Resurrection. It could have been a hat-trick booyah for Resurrection, and Xian would have been the perfect man to deliver it, but definitely it had to be Bablu. You know, he pulled it off with 6 elimination points, and SEA needed it. They were towards that 8th spot, and those points are more than welcome for them. And here is the last moment. You know, you look at, you know, the chaotic situation that happened inside that building, right, Lucifer? It was Team iQOO fighting against Chaos, and that's where Team Resurrection decided to, you know, do a third party. And we saw that, you know, from 3 teams was 1 individual players who was surviving, and Xian, as we always know, that he is never willing to stop. He immediately took down Aimbot, and he was fighting his battle against Bablu, but you know, eventually it was Bablu who got the booyah, and it was much needed for SEA.
I thought maybe it would be Xian running out of glue walls, but he had that steel cover in front of him as a compound. From there, it ended up being Bablu. I don't know what happened there, that Bablu all of a sudden let that fight come down to just him and the opponent, and he did not know who it was, but he knew that he had an opportunity for a booyah for his team, who have to climb up. Now I want to see how the today's standings seem to be, because if this did not happen, there would have been a lot in terms of chaos that could have broken out for SEA Esports. Even kudos to iQOO Esports, because they made it so far. They got swept out. They were the first team to be eliminated in our Game 4. But now in this Game 5, making it a top 3, amazing stuff. With this, let's take a look at our Booyah team stats. As you can see, Sad, Bablu, Fiasco and Saksham. But the credits all go to Bablu.
Yeah.
And now I know why he ended up playing that way. He was on the extreme state, having Zayn, having Shani, Thiva, all of this helping him for tanking and helping his teammates up. And then Nikita for the firepower in terms of reloading speed. He played it to perfection, making sure Xian doesn't get a close combat opportunity.
Yep, he was the medic for the team alongside Saksham.
Sorry, long range opportunity.
I mean, see, if it would have been Fiasco, he would have played throughout that last circle in a different way, because he had that Morse to help him. But unfortunately, he was taken out pretty early in the game, and he could only deliver 273 damage. But even though he assisted with 1 knock for sure, and any of his teammates would have converted it. But one thing is for sure that they did not end up with a higher number of eliminations. So I'm not quite sure, even though they have got the booyah, right, Lucifer, they still are, you know, they covered the gap between them and, you know, a lot more other teams who are on above them. But sad, he is definitely the one who has ended up getting the booyah with 3 elimination, and he is one of them who's showing a lot more potential than the other 3. I don't want to, you know, portray anybody lower than him, but I'm sure he has been the stronger one for that team, who is doing or cutting off the number of eliminations, or maybe delivering the damage in the lobby.
I would want to give this to Bablu as well, because he was the one who ended up getting the booyah for the team. But I really like that a rusher with the M249, and this is just an unstoppable beast of a weapon. Because once you keep firing, especially it helps in destroying glue walls. This is something that I was having a discussion, and players now, why they kind of move away from maybe the Riptide Rhythms, they bring in the other ones. Nero's plushie, especially with the nerf it got, that players are not taking it. Now, we have not seen so many plushies being used. That tells us that now teams are trying to tend with just these glue wall destroyers as weapons. And with that, let's take a look at the game standings. SEA, with the booyah that they got, they have a total of 18 points. But look at Resurrection. Come on, you can't keep doing this. 33 points without a booyah takes away so much. And if this continues, it is going to be a lot more of a problem, especially for teams such as Intense Quake, iQOO that we were watching. 26 in total points, but they were sitting at the bottom. SEA Esports, who needed to make it to the top 6, they only got 18 points. CLUTZA, they're already in the top 6, and they take 21 points. So teams taking away so many points, I don't know what has happened in the standings as of now.
You know, 15, anything below 20 feels like a below par kind of a performance for the standards,
especially when you're at the bottom 6.
Exactly. And it also, you know, if you look at the standard, right, Resurrection and iQOO, OGxTSG, anything below 20 feels like that. But right? For now, it's a circle analysis where definitely some good movements and good rotations coming in from Team Chaos. They were the one I thought that they could have converted this game, probably would have been the best of the situations, because they are also fighting, right there towards that 6th position or the 7th position, to be honest. But it was again Resurrection who managed to, get in the bigger numbers, because they were fighting all along the way. And Xian almost clutched it for his team, but it was SEA Pablo who had his cool when the fight was onto him, and he completed the fight and converted the game for his team.
And with that, let's take a look at today's standings. After what Bablu did, is it enough?
No.
Only to the 8th spot, 46 points. 4 AM, they did not make a move. They were the ones closest who could have made it to the top 6, because we spoke about it. They're a difference of 1, but right now their difference has increased to 10 points because Team Chaos, they also made a lot of points in the previous game. Intense Quake iQOO that we were talking about, they have a total of 43 points, made a 3 position jump, but this is in game number 5. It's only one last game left, game number 6, and what can teams do? SEA Esports, Intense Quake, and 4 AM. These are the only teams I see having a possibility. Flawless, yes, they have 41 points. Maybe we can try and count them, but looking at their performance, I am a little doubtful for Flawless Esports, because imagine if it's Flawless, if it's Intense Quake, if it is 4 AM, if it is SEA, there's already 4 teams along with Team Chaos who want to hold their position as a stronghold at the 6th spot. So it's very tough for just one spot and 5 teams fighting at the same and making that nature seem possible. So I feel like it's already tough for 4 AM and SEA. So Team Chaos, they better hope that they just survive just like they did in Next Era.
And they also have to hope that they have to survive longer than what these teams do, because if by any chance these guys get the booyah with at least 10 eliminations, they can cross them at any point of time. But not for iQOO. iQOO, even though they got 26 points in the previous game, they have probably caught on to the game a little late, but it is the randomizer again. The question comes down to that last game. This is the map where your probably things can change, but what is going to be? Is it Purgatory? Is it Bermuda? Or wait, it is Solara. Okay, so it is it is not Solara. It is Kalahari. Is it? Okay, it is Kalahari. Yeah.
Kalahari it is. We start with Kalahari. We are ending it on Kalahari, and it was iQOO, OGxTSG who got their booyah. Let's take a look at our predictions, chat. You can also do your very own and let us know if that's going to be the case, that they have a chance of a comeback. And that being the reason, when I was putting these names, the reason I thought, hey, iQOO, OGxTSG have gotten it, Resurrection have gotten it, and we are seeing Resurrection being a lot more consistent and heavy in terms of their fights. I keep them at their first spot, maybe looking forward to 3 booyah. But Rakers and CLUTZA, I want to see them. They are almost there, but they're missing out, Oro.
Yeah, I was looking at our predictions. We have been pretty bang on with our predictions today. Most of the teams we have predicted, they are in the top 6. So I'm happy about it. But we are about to start with the last map. There are still hopes for the last, bottom teams where SEA, iQOO still they are dangling with Team Chaos. And, will they be able to make it to the top 6? Will they be able to make it to the group stages? That's the question. You guys can go ahead and give your 2 cents on it. Give your predictions of who is going to win this game, because this game is going to be very, very important for those bottom 3 teams.
Let's see who it is going to be as we head towards Kalahari, the land of the snipers haven. Hook guns coming into play where everybody will try to jump closer to each other. Bablu might have done it in a 1v1, but it is going to be multiple players trying to do it. Already teams taking a dive, and it was CLUTZA the very first to take a dive, and they're moving towards shrines. When we talk about DESI Esports, they try to make a jump. They think they are all alone, but they aren't. At confinement, they're about to be confined by SKYLORD, and I hope either DESI or SKYLORD survive, because both of them need points, and if they only get the points, it's good, because Team Chaos, they are closer. 2 of their players trying to move around to see if there is something at confinement as pickoffs.
Yeah, 4 AM, Flawless, Team iQOO, OGxTSG, all there towards Refinery, and it's a bloodbath right now. This situation looks dangerous. Arjun, he has an AK. Probably would fancy his chances because of the weaponry. He finds himself a better swap with a double vector. You do not want to engage in this situation. QUAKE immediately gets taken down with that double vector in hand. Arjun would be super confident. It's not a sniper, but that's not a problem, because the rest members from iQOO, OGxTSG, they are here to give him that backup. And Flawless have stepped away from the situation as they should have done pretty early in the game.
Yeah, maybe it is not too late, but Flex, he is now the last one standing. If he gets spotted in, he is Ayush along with his teammate, both of them firing, and he will be put down, and that is the end for Flawless Esports. Their chances at our next week is now gone. Unfortunate, they took this fight head on at Refinery, and Refinery we all know is a chaotic place, not the best spot to drop. And right as now when we speak about the drop, we were talking about DESI Esports along with SKYLORD Esports. And it seems like Team Chaos, they made it up to this mix of it, and they're the ones getting put down rather than either SKYLORD or Team Chaos. Rather than DESI Esports.
You know, I was concerned about 4 a.m. That was kind of a ballsy move from them, you know, jumping in Refinery, taking those fights onto iQOO, OGxTSG and Flawless, but it's good that they're still surviving because they are the closest to Team Chaos. Team Chaos would have been the happiest, but right now it is SEA, another team who are looking on to that top 6 spot. There it is again, using that cord and dashing in. Imagine you have a cord as a rusher in your hand, plus that Valiant dash. It's nightmare for your opponents, but right now it is Resurrection. They have created a lot of damage and problems for the other teams, but something, he gets taken down. Wait, is another team fighting? No, it is Fiasco from the longer range who's creating those problems and trouble, but Xian is still fighting. He's alone right now. Sidak is coming in, but will he be able to give that back up in time? Xian, no, he is not able to handle it. So hopefully Sidak is going to turn his monster truck in a different direction and would... Oh wait, he gets taken down. Resurrection is eliminated, Lucifer.
This might be good. With Flawless out, Resurrection out, there is some points for teams to acquire. SKYLORD, they're also picking. It seemed like finally the fight between SKYLORD and DESI Esports are breaking out. Freck, the man who almost tried to save his team from iQOO OGxTSG, this time he is going to be again in a very dicey spot. All alone, but not the only player standing. Faiz quickly rushes in, takes him down, another elimination. 5 in total for SKYLORD, and Vedant is also spotted. Nisarg with his M24 wants to take a shot, and on the other end it's also an M24, so both of them trying to fight with the same weapon. UAV being destroyed. Nisarg, that's the only one right as now, but at this spot at confinement there's another squad. That's going to be CLUTZA. We spoke about them. They went to Shrines, but now they're here at confinement. Abhinav holding the front and still getting hits on DESI Esports, and more eliminations for SKYLORD, but it's not done yet. There is more trouble as CLUTZA are now jumping into the battle.
Shubh utilizes the freeze nade. Nisarg in a spot of bother. He gets taken down. Abhinav is trying to run away. This is not the right decision. When you're fighting against an opponent, you should never show your backs. That's very basic of Free Fire Max, but right now he is continuously trying to run away because he was trying to survive. But that's not the way. Right now it is iQOO OGxTSG against iQOO. They got 26 elimination. Will they be able to pull something like that? Right now the answer is no, because iQOO OGxTSG, when they are on a roll, they definitely shut you down pretty easily.
And it's very tough to take them down in early game. Therefore, iQOO OGxTSG, they get more eliminations. Fiasco gets spotted. Instant hit. What was that? Ayush. Damn, that was quick. Trigger. But Krish, he thought he's safe, but this is SEA Esports. 1-for-1 exchange. Quick on the glue wall. Ayush jumps up. He loses a lot of health in that dabble, but still will be able to save his teammate because of Ronit, and Ronit puts Sad down. And his teammate Saksham, who decided to fire and take the player at the edge of the hill, will now be in trouble. A toss, damage being done on the nade. Now Saksham also being troubled by the bolt maker. iQOO OGxTSG have him surrounded. There is nothing that Saksham can do. A rush coming through, and Saksham will also be taken down. For what he did, he will end up suffering at the hands of iQOO OGxTSG and give them more eliminations and surge to a total of 12.
You know, that 360-degree kind of an awareness from Ronit. Immediately the bolt maker called, because they knew that their players are going to be in the open and there are not a lot of real estate where they can take cover. But right now, iQOO OGxTSG, they take the fight towards the sub. And this is 4 a.m. putting up some glue walls, but it is only 2 members from iQOO OGxTSG who have closed in. But Gyro, he's there towards those tankers, towards those crates, and it is Ronit who he deals with. Ronit was the man who was supporting his team from the longer range. Now he gets dealt with. Arjun is still trying to create one knock so that his rushers can make the movements, but they have to do it. It is Ayush and Krish. They're fighting it one by one, and Gyro gets taken down.
They take a revenge on Gyro. He's down. Confirmation as well. More could follow. I was about to hope and wish that 4 AM having all their skills ready, they might be able to quickly challenge. And they're trying to do so. Krish, he's lost half of his HP. However, he'll quickly patch up, helping and using the glue walls. Ayush providing cover fire as well, making a check and then a hit. I don't know what happened. Two of the players from 4M thought that's an opportunity to jump in, but instantly get hit, instantly get shut down. And now Arjun, he's like, hey, it could be the same team, but no, it's a completely different team. That's going to be SEA, who tried to trouble them as well. So both 4AM as well as SEA, who tried to trouble iQOO, OGxTSG, they just get hit. Revenge taken and eliminations acquired.
You know, in that fight between iQOO, OGxTSG, in that sub area, they are surrounded by SMR as well, and that's where Obito's shot landed on one of the SEA's player, and he got taken down. And even eventually, I think it was a player from iQOO, OGxTSG who confirmed that elimination, and you know they ended up having 15. Right now, the fight has not ended yet because this is towards command post where SEA are still fighting, and this is Team Chaos. Team Chaos, they have to be super aware about their situation in the overall standings because they are not comfortable. They are still defending their 6th spot right now, and they cannot get eliminated before SEA or a 4AM or a iQOO get eliminated.
Yeah. Team Chaos, while the difference was still around 10 points while we were talking about it, they cannot be okay with that. SEA Esports have gotten 6 eliminations. Team Chaos, however, just got 1, meaning almost around 5 points closer are SEA Esports to close the distance. However, they've had a little bit of an up and down performance here on Kalahari. A lot of teams have troubled them. They've managed to get out. However, Team Chaos, we've barely seen them in action. They've gone into survival instinct, survival mode active from their end. They switched that, and now they are just looking forward to making it to the top 4, top 3, even if possible a booyah. SMR on the other end, they tried to surround iQOO, OGxTSG, but very mechanical and precise. However, Sanket, he puts the player down. AC80 now closing the distance with the Max 7, wants to get it to a CQC, but the challenge and the Valiant dash, and now Sanket in trouble, and then it is a hit coming through. SMR end up losing their players. However, one of the players managed to get out on the horse and quickly will try to get the players back up.
Yeah, it is DVG, and he brings back the players. He ran towards that vending machine, but look at iQOO, OGxTSG, Arjun. He has 6 eliminations already. Try next. The dash was in desperation to survive, but he was not able to do that. But what was he trying there? Was he trying to reach out towards that vending machine? Because that was an inch closer to him. He literally tried to bring back few players, which I think he failed. And he got taken down before he could do that. But DESI Gamers and Vedant towards the platform, and I think the circle is going to end up towards Refinery. And usually we have always seen Lucifer. In the meanwhile, Bully from CLUTZA, he connects a shot onto Vedant, and that's how I think DESI Gamers have been eliminated.
A lot of phenomenal snipers we've been seeing in action. Dhruva in a 1v1 against iQOO. iQOO made it to the top 3 and will still be able to hold their own. Mac 10 coming into play. DVG a little too late to avenge his teammate, but still will be able to do it. And Valiant dash being used sends the other player packing and quickly gets the elimination. However, trouble still striking. The player decides to challenge. Aimbot on a 1v1. Last time was not able to deliver, and this time as well against DVG, and a Mac 10 will not be able to deliver. That's a second elimination. A 1v2 being pulled off by SMR, and they will be happy that they're still punching and making sure they are also stable in top 6.
CLUTZA, they decide to move out, but wait, Rakers, what? He was not actually trying to rotate. Kaushik was the flanker. He decided to create a different angle, and they succeeded to literally bamboozle Rakers. They did not read it. Mysterious, his position is spotted for sure, but he is near a vending machine. He has only 800 coins. He can only bring back 1, and he does bring back Kid. He would require more coins to bring back the other members. And you look at how CLUTZA's team members are waiting for the team Raker Esports to come back in the lobby. Eventually when the circle becomes smaller, it's very difficult. You saw in the last game when SMR was brought back into the game. They were picked off or plucked off in air and got eliminated eventually.
This time, however, they still managed to hold it off. All kudos to DVG, while we see him a little ahead of iQOO, OGxTSG. iQOO, OGxTSG have a total of 19 eliminations. We spoke about the record, which right now stands with Group A, Team Elite. 142 total points. Maybe there is a chance iQOO TSG break it. However, their previous game loss might affect them maybe. It still depends. We still have 7-8 teams surviving. If they manage to get closer to the Booyah, there is an opportunity. But Arjun clearly has an idea of where one of the players from SMR are about to make a move. And therefore, he's trying to hold him down to sides and pick him off as soon as he tries to step out. But on the other end, Sanket, he spots one player from DESI Esports. And that is going to be Freck, who gets taken instantly out. And that's an added-on elimination for Team SMR.
Team Chaos, they still hold their ground. They only have one elimination, and this is where I get scared the most, Lucifer, because they have stopped suddenly looking out for fights. They're looking to, survive. And that's where the problem starts, because I feel, being aggressive is the best way to defend your scoreline. Because you look at the other teams around them, they are fighting. SEA has 7, but wait, Sanket, he has an intruder. It is Vedant, but he will get taken down. Mac 10 was the savior for Sanket. He handled it well, but 4 AM they're waiting. They have heard the gunshots. They would definitely want to look out for Team SMR. They would definitely want to stop them from getting inside the circle. And Parth immediately connects that ACAT shot onto him. Parth and Gyro, he has closed in the distance. DVG dashes in. Gyro also dashes in. It's Dhruva who has to take one player down, but he eventually gets taken out by Gyro. Gyro right now, he has the M590. Wait, he had a max 7 actually. And he eliminated SMR. Wow, that was a good fight. But look at Team iQOO they are immediately into this fight, and 4AM are out for trouble.
4AM, not much of a recovery chance. The platform as well as the edge of these pillars have been taken. Ayush drops with a shot and knocks the player out. Sick found as well. Big damage being done. One player still close by. I'm not sure what he decided, but Gyro, it's only an exchange. No confirmations. iQOO TSG have numbers working in their favor. 21 in total eliminations, and Ayush having the highest at 7. His teammates also not far behind. Arjun as well as Krish sharing 6 each. This is just a very, very big game coming in from iQOO TSG. And what do the others do if they still keep taking it away? And another player falls.
Oh, no.
Default gets picked off, and iQOO, they get spotted by CLUTZA, and their run also comes to an end at #7.
Aimbot was the last man surviving, and CLUTZA have also cranked up, with 15 eliminations. Resurrection getting taken down for sure. The most happiest would be iQOO OGxTSG and CLUTZA, but they're fighting at the top. The problem still lies with Team Chaos, and oh wait, it is only SEA who's in the battle. 4AM and SMR and Team iQOO, they're out, which means probably their dreams of qualifying into the group stages are eliminated. Not for SMR, though SMR would be safe enough. But look at iQOO OGxTSG. As you mentioned correctly, they're fighting for the record of 142, which Team Elite cranked up in Group A. With 22 elimination, if they're able to end up with more amount of elimination and get the Booyah, they can do it.
There is a possibility, as we both are looking forward to. Especially also NKG having the highest in total points here in the plains. That is a total of 45. These guys already have 22. They need a little more. If you add the Booyah right now, it is going to be a total of 34 points. So they need additionally 11 points more, meaning 11 eliminations.
Yep.
And there is a chance. If you exclude them, there are still 4 teams, and all 4 of them, if you count, it is 16
Seriously
players.
calculating
Not
it.
all of them are still surviving. Therefore, there is a chance of it being either happening or not at all. With Rakers down to the last player surviving, Team Chaos, SEA Esports trying to still stand a chance to qualify. But they have Team Chaos. They have to look forward to somehow wishing for somebody to take Team Chaos down. Then SEA surviving, and there is a chance for SEA Esports to make it through the top 6.
I love the way the conversation have jumped on to how iQOO OGxTSG can break the numbers, right? But right now it is Team Chaos. They are still at, a little pickle with their positioning. It's not confirmed yet with SEA surviving, and if iQOO OGxTSG decide to push onto them, it's going to be a little more difficult, because all the 4 members inside that hut makes it more difficult for them to defend their positioning. But SEA out in the open, they are out for trouble because Team CLUTZA are also peppering them. They're getting peppered from both the angles, and here comes Shobit. Wait, what? Rakers was surviving, and Arjun immediately smacks him on the head and disconnects him from the lobby. But it is CLUTZA Esports fighting against the SEA, and SEA are getting shut down, and they are stuck inside this crate.
Unfortunate, not the position they would want. It's just been revives. Melters, nades, all being tossed, shooting through the glue walls as well. Now Alien Dash right into the enemy's boundary and then taking them down one after another. They did not stand a chance at all with the nade and M590s right to their face. And that is going to be SCA Esports out of the race, meaning Team Chaos, I think, can be worry free. However, they need an opportunity, maybe rake up a little more points, because we saw they don't have a lot going for them. iQOO, OGxTSG, they realize, hey, the team next to us doing nothing. Let's go towards a fight against CLUTZA, because they are the ones who are taking away a lot of points. And if we have a chance to take them down, a lot more to add on to our backpack, to our total points. And they are trying and jumping for it. However, CLUTZA, they decide that we'll take the platform and move even further up, creating a distance between themselves and the opponents.
You know, they have a first movers advantage. Absolutely, they are, prioritize this circle. Team Chaos, they are closing in the distance between them and iQOO, OGxTSG. Actually, all the three teams are going in for the play circle right now. iQOO, OGxTSG can be caught off guard, but look at CLUTZA, they're playing it very smart, Lucifer. Team Chaos, they've closed in for sure, and they want Team Chaos to fight against iQOO, OGxTSG so that they can third party, and the fight begins. The utilities being exchanged, freeze nades, melters, and Kaushik finds the one onto Scary, immediately gets revived back, but problems are not solved yet. iQOO, OGxTSG understands the value. They do not rush in. They understand the situation. They still want to get that booyah. And imagine they are on the top. They know that they have dominated, and yet they understand the importance of this lobby, and they still want to end up on top.
Scary just got knocked. Team Chaos, I don't know, this time can they revive? Yes, they do. Therefore, Team Chaos still have their 4 players. But as I said, only one elimination. They have nothing else to answer. And the zone not in their favor. They're at the right edge of it. Container right behind, melters being used, because I think CLUTZA lost sight of Team Chaos, and now Team Chaos, if they don't make a mistake, they have an opportunity, but a melter being tossed towards iQOO, OGxTSG should give away their position. A lot more likely that CLUTZA now will hold them towards their sides. Klaus, you can see what a nice angle, a sneaky one that he's holding along with Bully. Therefore, Team Chaos trying to make it out of here is going to be very difficult. However, all of them waiting for the zone to shrink, and the now melter being tossed, making sure that Team Chaos, they have to run out in the open, use the glue walls, but all of them will be weak, one after another being broken. And now iQOO, OGxTSG as well trying their best, but CLUTZA, what ninja, how does he find? He gets 2 with the M24. The players above, they get knocked and give some space for Team Chaos.
Oh no, it is Arjun who immediately trades player from Team Chaos. But look at Team Chaos, they don't have any space, and the CLUTZA players are jumping down. TSG, CLUTZA, and also in this situation, it is Team Chaos who are still fighting it out. So many glue walls. Team Chaos, finally, their 4 members are sticking in and around in this situation. Krish and the rest of the members from iQOO, OGxTSG, they have divided this play circle into parts. One has been conquered by CLUTZA, one by iQOO, OGxTSG, and there are flying monster trucks coming in. This area is cluttered more with glue walls than members, but look at Ayush. He's on that recoil tower. He has the best of the angles. He can absolutely clinch players from that position. He can pluck those, but he immediately leaves that positioning. It's CLUTZA. They're defending this circle. They want Chaos and iQOO, OGxTSG to fight. Scary gets taken down by his own launcher. Goodness me, CLUTZA show. He finds one more pick over there. But this fight is still not started. There's still fight time. What for? Ninja gets taken down. Klaus immediately dashes in. And this is not over yet. Team Kaushik and Team CLUTZA, they get eliminated. And Kaushik is the one with the grenade launcher. And CLUTZA ends this with the booyah, Lucifer.
What was this? It was fight after fight, exchange after exchange, knock after knock, launchers being used, eliminations being found. Couldn't even follow of which team had the better of it. If one team lost a player, if CLUTZA lost a player, following that was even iQOO, OGxTSG, was even Team Chaos. One after another, it came down to Kaushik with his launcher, the M79 being played to perfection. Found all the opponents one after another. Doing the after effect of the damage was Kaushik over there, and then getting this booyah for the team. 12 placement points, 25 in total eliminations, and they put a 37 total pointer game for themselves. But this is where it started. They had to shut down a team, and that was SCA, unfortunate, cornered in one position, and after them getting taken down, Team Chaos in a position where they almost looked like they were picking players off. They used the launcher, but as you mentioned, Scary, unfortunate, using it in close quarters of the glue wall will obviously do a little bit of a damage. Hindrance coming in over there, and then Kaushik, look at this. It was his launcher in that last hit that he gets on. And thankfully, because he was the first to take that player down and then he goes down, he ends up getting this booyah for CLUTZA.
Yeah, I'm not at all
Brilliant
surprised.
game to end.
Wow, I am not at all surprised because he was the MVP for sure, because he had the Beaston and also the Alvaro to complement those grenade launcher shots, right? You know,
Yeah.
we talked about how Chaos, you know, literally made it chaotic little bit for them, where Scary mishit onto himself, and because of the glue wall he took the damage and he got taken down. But it was Kaushik who was very smart of him, who literally used those glue walls as a ladder, and he jumped onto the top and then used the launcher so that he could convert those elimination points. And then there comes the, you know, the Alvaro damage as well, and you see 14 knockouts. Can you imagine 14 knockouts? I'm pretty sure that all those knockouts did not come in the last circle. He was also belting players in and out. He had 6,810 damage, and look at the overall damage his team has given in this game.
Yeah, he is sitting at 6,000, Bully at 4,000, a total of 10,000. I mean, this almost pulled off a 20,000 if possible, if his other two teammates were also close. But everybody together, brilliant job. But for him, being a grenadier, right, and sitting at 6,000 damage is just unbelievable stuff. And on top of that, wielding a Morse, we generally see the snipers, it should have been maybe Bully, but this is how the tactics of one unique active skill is bringing in. Teams are figuring out, hey, why not send a player super close and then make him use the launcher? And that's how it worked for CLUTZA here in the very last fight, and even the last shot coming in from his M79 clutches. Booyah with a roll of 37 points for the team. iQOO OGxTSG, they fall short of the record of an individual game, but have they clinched the overall today's standings? That's something that we have to take a look at. 4 AM, they got points, but we spoke about it. Is it going to be enough? SCA also same number of points at 16. Rakers, they were already in the top. We don't have to be worried about them. Team SMR get 9. I don't think they also have to be worried about it. Intense Quake at 9 points. They were a little too far, but Team Chaos, this was the last. This was at the edge. They have only 9 points compared to the 16 that SCA have. So I'm not too sure. 4 AM also have same. Let's cross our fingers and see where it goes.
Yeah, but look at the circle analysis. You know, Team Chaos was definitely the one to watch out for, because that was the only spot who we were concerned about. But they decided that we will stick to Refinery. We would stick to Refinery. We would want to play this out, you know, on the basis of survival. They did it pretty well. They ended up messing it up. They almost got the booyah. You know, they would have thought that, because look at the way they were all along the lines towards Refinery. And we know that in the map of Kalahari, it's more likely towards Refinery or either towards Command Post where the circle ends. But the way that last circle turned out, it was a spectator's game, right, Lucifer? Because I'm sure the players won't be able to handle themselves. You saw the shift coming in towards the eastern side, right, where we saw how CLUTZA was sitting on the platform, right, and they were always prioritizing the circle alongside iQOO OGxTSG. We still thought that, you know, there will be some knocks coming in. Knocks were there at a single point where Team Chaos was being peppered by freeze nades from both ends, iQOO OGxTSG and also from the top where, you know, Team CLUTZA was sitting. But they still managed to survive there, and it ended in the very last seconds of the circle.
Man, oh man, what an unbelievable game. I am pretty sure if this came down to them getting themselves the champions title at the end of TEZ FFMIC 2026 fall, it would have been unbelievable to just look at an M79 and also that player going down just before just after taking down the last player from the opponent team. With this, let's take a look at today's standings and see if it is going to be the same teams that we saw in the top 6. And yes, it is. Team Chaos make it across by just 3 points just because of their survival towards the end of it. And 4 AM and SCA Esports, they get left out by 3 as well as 6 points respectively.
We were talking about a top-heavy game. What's this for a performance, right? iQOO, OGxTSG with 153, CLUTZA with 146, and Resurrection as well with 136. We forgot about Resurrection because they got eliminated in this game pretty early, but they were there, right, with 136. And if imagine they would have been, available in the last circle, it would have been chaos. And I am sure that they would have also eyed for that 150 plus mark. But iQOO, OGxTSG, they've at least broken the overall record of Team Elite, who scored 142 points in Group A with 153. That's gone.
Now, at least in today's journey, as a recap, right? The invited team here in fall, they've made it through, and along with that, the two city qualified team, that is Team SMR as well as CLUTZA.
Correct.
One from Bangalore and the other from Kolkata, both have made it through into the next stage, that is our group stages. So congratulations to them, and even the teams from the FFC mode, Resurrection, Rakers as well as Team Chaos. This almost looked a lot tougher for Team Chaos because you could see the number of points. However, with that, let's take a look finally with the lot of 6. iQOO, OGxTSG, they'll be happy with Ronit's addition. They have managed to power through and surge against a record set by the city qualifiers team as themselves to show who's the next powerhouse.
I would still say, Lucifer, that Team SMR would be the one who would be super proud, because the rest others had experience, had known faces, had some kind of players in them who had already played a bigger stage, right? So SMR would be proud. Would be proud of themselves the way they have, showcased. But it is, of course, for the likes of iQOO, OGxTSG, who have definitely scored higher or the highest in this lobby. Or actually, among the 4 groups we have seen, they have scored the highest among all the 4 groups combined and got 153. And look at the total damage, 67,301. Are you kidding me?
Record setters here, iQOO, OGxTSG. They wanted multiple booyahs. Yes, we could clearly see them trying for it, but hey, the lobby was so intense and top heavy that everybody wanted a bit of that cake. Everybody wanted a bit of a booyah. And that's the reason they do not get multiples in terms of 3 or 4, but still 2, and still have their top elimination leader as Arjun. 33 elimination. Shubh also not far away, 33 of his own. Then comes in Ayush at 32, then Zian at 31, and Dafiq at 25 elimination. Today was not a complete Dafiq day. We know him as the Dafiq Destroyer, but as of now, it seems like there's a lot more other teams climbing up this hill, looking forward to destroying the lobby. And what was Zian? Look at, he might have 31 eliminations, but in this elimination leader lobby, we have him at the highest damage at 29,000. Even the person who's sitting at the highest eliminations is sitting at 22,000. This tells us of how powerful Zian was today.
You say that Dafiq did not have the best of the days, and imagine he's still there in top 5 with 25 elimination. Now, imagine if he has the best of the days, then what kind of a performance you expect? And, as I said, that today was a spectator sport, and this ended up where all the experienced teams, all the bigger names qualified. And definitely this is something which is for other groups to learn, because there are groups which are coming tomorrow.
And this is day 4 of our play-ins. So play-ins is not yet ended. 3 more days of play-ins that we're going to be seeing a new group tomorrow. 6 more games that will be going through, and the top 6 to figure out. But congratulations for the teams that we have found so far. You will make it to the group stages, and we will all see you in tomorrow's action. Don't go anywhere.
Easy.